Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming on in today. Waiting for my guest to join us here. He'll be just a second. Going to have a guest on today. A lot of experience being a fleet owner, been in the trucking game a long time. Want to share some knowledge with you. Really smart guy. And mostly I want to talk about today. There's a lot of people on YouTube now, new owner operators, people just getting in with these good rates. And is it really doing everybody a service? Uh, Is it making people forget the bigger picture and the possible downside and everything that comes with that? I want to talk a little bit about that today because I don't think enough people are. And here's the man himself right here. Thanks for
My
coming
brother.
on. This is Dirty Broke 215. Check out his channel. I got a link posted here in the chat, and everybody check him out. Check
I
him out.
appreciate that, brother. How we doing?
Excellent. I'm glad you could come in today because I value everything you have to say. I value your knowledge. You and I talk. You know,
Uh-huh.
I come to you for advice. I come to you for a person to talk to about things because you have a lot of experience in these matters of being an owner operator, being a fleet owner, knowing that not everything is rosy and everything is just you sit there and figure out how much money you're going to make every day. And I don't feel like there's enough of that being talked about here on YouTube lately. I want to talk about it.
Let's
Uh,
do it.
all right. Um, there's a lot of positivity, and that's excellent. Positivity is great, but a lot of people on YouTube right now, not being misleading, it is true, but you know, I booked these loads for $9 a mile. I booked this load for $10 a mile. I'm killing it. I'm winning right now. Um, but there's a lot more to it than that, and you and I both know that. And I'd like to hear some of your experiences. So, what's your advice to? Well, first, kind of enlighten people as to what your past is. I know you still kind of dabble in things, but what's your story going way back with this trucking thing?
First of all, let me say salute to you. And
Well,
the
thank you.
channel's growing nicely, man.
Hey, thanks. I
I
appreciate
remember
it.
I was just thinking back, man. Just to get off topic a little bit real quick to
Yeah.
give you your flowers right now. I was just thinking back, I was like, man, I was watching this cat, man, when this cat didn't even have 1,000 subscribers, and then you just boom, took off, man. So that's a testament to you,
Well,
man.
thank you.
So you
Thank
putting
you.
out some good work, man. I tell you that all the time. We do talk offline, and we have good conversation, man. I appreciate that, man.
Me too.
But
Thank you.
as far as I'm concerned, man, I'm just you know the story. I've been at this for a while, man, for a few days, and I basically was brought up trucking, since hell, since as long as I can remember. I come from I'm a third generation truck driver. Grandfather drove truck, father drove truck, so I drove truck and still do drive truck. So that's what it is on that.
Right.
But
And
so
you had your own fleet, right?
hmm
At one point.
yep.
Different, kind of hauling more local and regional, but same challenges as anybody else owning, multiple trucks.
hmm
And what are kind of some of the now I kind of feel like in today's environment, this right here, this calculator is
mm,
is your best friend,
ooh,
but it can be your worst enemy. Okay.
ooh.
I feel like a lot of people being led into this right now
Uh-huh.
in today's freight climate, are convinced from watching a lot of people on YouTube that all you got to do is sit here every day and just figure out how much money you're making. And oh
hmm
God, if I had more trucks, see, I'm going to get, 10, 15, 20% of that. And that each truck is going to gross 10,000 a week. And, I'm going to make 2,000 off. If I had 10 trucks, you tell me I'm going to
hmm
make, 10 grand a week or 20 grand a week. Oh my God. And then go out and do this. And I feel like a lot of people are being set up, maybe not intentionally,
hmm
but there's a lot more to it. There's things can go bad. Things can
hmm
go wrong. You can lose money. You could go buy all this equipment, get all these drivers, and be put out of business.
mm Yeah.
Uh, can you kind of share some of the things that have happened? Employees, equipment, capital management. That's a huge thing. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
debt.
I th- yeah, I think when a lot of people may come into this, and most people, myself included, we just kind of try to look at the bigger picture. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But not really taking into consideration all the small things that you need to go right for this to work right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's a trucking is a very expensive business,
Right.
comparably speaking to other startup businesses. It is very you got most of the guys in here, truck drivers, they know it's very expensive to run one truck, let
Yes.
alone a fleet of trucks. And to run a fleet of trucks successfully, you need a lot of things to go right. And
Yeah.
one of the main components of that is your workforce. Your drivers. They can make you or break you. You know that we've had these conversations. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that could be a struggle obtaining good drivers. And now, if I had to go back and do it all over again, the first thing I would do now is size up the competition.
Okay.
Because looking back at it now, that's what basically put me out of business, because I couldn't compete. I couldn't afford to pay the drivers a competitive wage. And it wasn't just the money, it was all the extras.
Yeah.
It was the benefits. Now, granted, I didn't have 1099 drivers. I'm speaking from a W-2 driver standpoint. I had all my drivers were W-2 drivers. That worked for me, driving my trucks. Now, I did have owner operators leased on to me with their own trucks, but the drivers that drove for me were all W-2 drivers, and it's very competitive business in trucking to maintain drivers. And to get that, you got to be able to give them something.
Yes.
Give them something
Yes.
competitive. And quite frankly, I couldn't keep up. I couldn't keep pace with what my competition was paying these drivers.
Yeah. It's wages are
Oh man.
a fraction of the battle. I mean, it's keeping people, finding people, um, keeping them happy,
Mm,
getting them. Sometimes you might find the best person in the world and discover that you have a hard time getting them to go to work every day.
absolutely.
You're going to find people that are just old, reliable, show up, do their job no matter what. But
Hmm.
it's constant fires and constant battles.
Whew,
And
it's constant.
I'm not sure some guys that are fleet owners how they get to spend all day on YouTube or doing other things, because it's just putting out fires, all day, every day. If you care and want to run a legit business,
Uh-huh.
and keep, take care of your guys, keep your guys happy,
Hmm.
keep yourself happy, have something for yourself. It's
Hmm.
it's a lot of work, and
Absolutely.
it's frustrating. I kind of feel like it's really not talked about enough, and that can be true with one truck. If you're determined and really want to make something and do something, you got to put the work in. Right now, it's
Hmm.
coming kind of easy.
Hmm.
It can come easy for a lot of people, and great. Hey, what a great time to start. What a great way to start.
Hmm.
Uh, Make the most of it while it's there, so that when you go into the tough times or have a major breakdown or what have you, it's
Hmm.
not so stressful on you.
Absolutely. And
You know?
it can wear you out. It's a lot of sleepless nights. you know,
Yeah.
phone never stops ringing. Like you said, you're constantly putting out fires. And it's like, all right, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? And to the point where every time the phone rings, it's like, what's this? You know what I mean? What's this? What's this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's from my standpoint. You do something a little different than what I did, because my loads was every day I was dispatching multiple trucks multiple times a day. Like I
Okay.
didn't give a guy one load and that was it for the day or
Right.
it for the week. No, it was 4 or 5 loads a day that I had to dispatch each one of these drivers.
It's hustle.
Because it's hustle, it's constant this all day long. Not to
Yeah.
mention, I had to wrench the trucks too, and sometimes had to fill in and drive when you get
Yes.
that last minute phone call that he ain't coming into work today. Now to
Yeah.
stop everything you're doing. Now I got to jump in this truck that I had scheduled to work on and go drive it to cover this load
Right.
or
Yeah.
4 loads or whatever it is.
I'm still dealing with that. Last week is, I haven't been on YouTube. Last week I had two guys here. I'm in and out trying to dispatch and do things and still help them work on their trucks in my driveway.
Mm-hmm.
And then, every once in a while I got to run a load because somebody's truck is down or whatever, but then I still
Absolutely.
got to do all the dispatching and everything else. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, people don't maybe think about that level of it enough. Even if you're with one truck, you
Mm-hmm.
know, eh, it sucks to be married to the truck. It really does. You
Mm,
got to walk away from it sometimes, but your time at home is not your time at home. You're
nope.
going to be dealing with business stuff. You're going to be working on the truck. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're not dealing with the business stuff, you're probably missing something because
Yeah.
there's never a shortage of stuff to work on or
Mm-hmm.
some form to file, things like
Mm-hmm.
that. So looking back, I know how you kind of came into it. I know how you kind of came out of it. Was it?
Mm-hmm.
I know it kind of put you in the position you are now in your life. Was it worth it?
Yep. Yep. And
Okay.
I would tell anybody who's thinking about it to try it.
Yeah.
Even I felt at it, and I would still tell anybody and everybody to at least try it.
I'm
You know
not
what I
sure
mean?
you. I wouldn't necessarily. I
Well,
wouldn't say that you failed on it. You got to go out on
well,
your own terms.
well, yeah, well, I mean, you can look at it that way. I mean, I don't do it anymore. So let's just say that,
Okay.
So yeah, like I said, failure, you know, it's about how you look at it. It's about perspective. I learned a lot, and
Yeah.
I've made a lot of relationships, which I will say this is actually more important. When you're getting into business, particularly running a fleet, the relationships you build is very, very important because the
Yes.
relationships that I built over the years, they're still paying off today.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's something you can get in right now and run all the spot market, but while you're doing it, build relationships, even if it's with a broker. Build a good
Hmm.
relationship with a regular broker. Building some great relationships right now, and hopefully it continues. Um, some people won't know you when things go bad. It's
Hmm.
what are you going to do? So have a backup plan. But
Hmm.
what would be your advice to somebody thinking about doing it right now? One truck or multiple trucks. Uh,
One.
so you did it a certain way.
Hmm.
What would you do differently? And if you started today and said, "I'm going to build a company," what would you do differently this time versus last time?
Hmm. Eh, Manage money better because
Okay.
my problem wasn't wasn't making the money. I made the money, managing money better, and it wasn't. And I'm not saying I was out buying this crazy home and cars and all that. It was just when it came to investing back in the business. Like I wouldn't do if I was starting a fleet today. I would try to tie up other ends of the business, like controlling more of the other things outside of just the truck, like the freight and things of that sort.
Hmm.
Like Salute the Great Freight,
Yeah.
being a broker, being
Yeah.
the carrier and the broker, and try to build relationships with shippers, try to tie up all ends. Like if you look at a lot of these big companies out, even the mega companies out, they don't just do trucking. You understand? So if
Right.
you just do trucking, you kind of box yourself into just trucking. So
Right.
if I had to do it over again, I would tell people to do that before you expand the fleet to 10, 15, 20 trucks. Try to lock up some of that other end of the business where you're controlling more of the freight that you're hauling and stuff like
That's
that.
that's great advice, and that's
Hmm.
a lot of us are trying to do that and learning a lot. And Eric, a great freight Sage Logic, has been a great you know resource partner.
Hmm.
We talk a
Where was
lot.
you at 30 years ago, Eric? Where were you at, man? Damn it, man.
He was probably about the same age I was. We were probably still in junior high.
I needed you, man. 30 years ago, I needed you, bro.
Well, he's here now, so that's the best we can do. But
That's it, man.
um, oops, I got to turn the volume down here. What did I do?
He's here now, so that's the best we can do.
This technology thing just kicks my butt.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Uh-huh.
um, and to go along with that, just straight up capital management.
Yes.
Where do you the big debate? I see you guys and a lot of your friends and every people people who watch me having the argument all the time with their what do they call them, the raggedy ass cash trucks
Oh, I love
versus
those I love
versus
those
the
conversations, man.
versus the brand new truck with a big payment. There
Because
is a middle there is a middle ground here,
it
everybody.
is a middle ground. I tell you, they're all right and they're all wrong. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? It's right there in the middle somewhere. You don't want a truck too old. You don't want a truck too new. You don't want that real big high overhead, man.
Right.
You know, so you gotta find that middle ground, and that that's going to be determined by your whole setup. And each person middle ground is going to be a little bit different. You know, it's
Yeah.
about your comfortability. You know what I'm saying?
And your skills, are you
Absolutely, and your skill
good at
set.
working on
Absolutely.
stuff? Um, or are you best left to run the business and let somebody else do that? Um,
Mm, mm.
if somebody was going to do this, I would say sit down first and have a real honest conversation with yourself. Say, what are my skills?
Absolutely. You make a good
Where's
point there.
where's my time best spent? Is it in the
You
office? Is it on the road? Is it working on trucks? Is it, there's, and none of them are wrong.
hmm
But wherever your weaknesses are, you need to find somebody to fill that gap.
absolutely. And that's
Yeah.
very important. And some guys just want to be they want to be the everything. And it's not a good thing, man. You got to be able to delegate. You got to, like you said, you got to be honest with yourself, know what you're weak at, and find a strong person to handle that, to fill that void. You know, if you're a good driver, drive your own truck. If you're a
Right.
good mechanic, rent your own truck. If you're good at back office, you do the back office. Let somebody else do the driving or do the wrenching or whatever. You know, don't try to do it all. And I had to do it all. Now, I didn't. My wife did most of the back office. Thank God for her, because without her, we wouldn't have never made any money. But anyway, she took care of that. But I was the driver. You know, I was the dispatcher and I was the mechanic. You know, and
Right.
I constantly hopped around every day, all day, 7 days a week.
Yeah. Yeah. It is good to have that support system. My wife helps out. She has a very full-time job, and
hmm
we work on stuff together when we can. Um,
hmm
Obviously she carries the health insurance. Without that, I
Mm,
wouldn't probably be doing this. But that's a big thing
mm.
too. A lot of people miss right off.
Oh,
Everybody says, "Well, I want to be owner operator." Well, let's go back here. I have a comment here from Ruben. Says, "Can I start my business with $10,000 to $15,000 down?" Yeah, you can. There's ways to do
mm,
that, but let's just back up a second. Did you sit down and nail down some health insurance or some kind of, for
mm.
for you or for your family? Do you have that figured out? Because figure that out first, because you're putting everything at risk otherwise. I get a lot of comments all the time. Health insurance is a ripoff. It's a scam. Yeah, it might be. It very
Mhm.
well might be, but I tell
Don't
you
get
what,
sick without it.
don't get sick without it. Don't have a heart attack without it. Uh, you know, don't get hit by a car without it. Um, you got to have it.
Twist your ankle, break a leg,
Yeah. Yeah, and you
that
need to
cost
know
you thousands of dollars, man.
it's just like the truck insurance. You got to know before the fact, is my truck insurance going to be $30,000 for the year, or is it going to be 12?
hmm
Is my health insurance going to be $900 a month or 3,000? It's some deciding factors. You don't want to buy a truck and find out I can't afford to drive it and then be stuck with this truck
hmm
or all this equipment.
Oh, sorry
So,
about that. Are we
no,
good?
yeah, we're good. We're good.
Okay,
So
I was
I
getting a
couldn't tell
phone
if that was
call.
me or you buzzing.
Yeah, I was getting a phone call. I forgot to put do not disturb on. Let me see if I could put that on now. Hold on 1 second. That was my bad. That's a rookie move.
You're all right.
Uh,
Cash is King in the house. Everybody check out Cash is King. Great channel. He
that's my
says,
other brother.
that's right. That's my twin brother, half brother,
Mhm.
twin brother. I don't know. We're related somehow.
Okay.
He says, don't forget, a new truck can be a cash truck as well. He said we can buy new trucks without financing.
And that's funny you say that. My first truck I bought was a brand new truck that I paid cash for.
Really?
Yeah, yep. And I paid cash for it, and I actually regret doing that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I
Explain
actually
why.
regret doing that because the kind of business I was in, the kind of trucking I did, it didn't make sense to do it with a brand new truck. That's just basically the long and short of it. I was in scrap metal business, the demolition business. Why
Okay.
would you why would you spend $85,000 to go haul scrap metal? Because after that, then I just started buying 25, $30,000 trucks and did the same thing.
And two, so you have all the money tied up into one truck. You want to grow your business. You need a little bit of capital for that.
hmm
You need some capital for emergencies. I love paid for stuff. I think if you
Absolutely.
can, paid for stuff is the way to go. If you think these people think that a cash truck or a paid for truck, you're missing out or you're screwing up. Tell you
hmm
what, you've never had a paid for truck. You never had a paid for house, a paid
mm,
for life. All your cars, everything in your life is paid for. Let me
mm-hmm,
tell you what that quality of life feels like. You know,
mm-hmm,
I mean, to not owe anybody anything.
mm. It's a, you can get,
There's no substitute for that.
yeah, it's a good feeling, man.
Yeah,
It's definitely a
yeah,
good feeling, and it can, you can weather a lot of storms when you do, you know,
absolutely.
and I faced a lot of storms in my career trucking, and without paid off equipment, I would have never been able to do it. Because that's
Exactly.
ultimately what we did. We didn't, and that's another thing. So looking back at what we didn't finance anything. When it came to equipment, we bought everything. We bought everything. When I got a truck, we just bought it. I didn't finance any trucks.
It's it
You
can
know what I
make a
mean?
difference,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Well, let me try I'm trying to get this. There we go. Um, I always say we're thinking about it. People have that argument. If things are bad, whatever, you can sit home and not buy fuel. You can sit home and not pay for maintenance. You can't sit home and not make that truck payment.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna come. Somebody's gonna come for that truck.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Absolutely.
I got a link to Dirty Broke's channel here in the
Yeah, hit that
chat.
link.
Scrolling here. Hit
Hit
that
that
here.
link. Come on through. Hang out with us at the Truckers Lounge. Usually every Friday around this time, we try to go live.
Good
And we,
conversations. A lot of good.
yeah, we just hang out, man.
Yeah, a lot of knowledge. A lot of good advice. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you got me drinking this healthy green drink every day. Doggone you.
Drink it, man.
Kind of tasty.
Drink
I'll,
it.
I'll admit.
Hey, health is the most important. But
Yes.
what a lot of guys do, including myself, we put health on the back burner, particularly
Hmm.
when you're younger. Do not do that, man. Do
Yeah.
not put your health first.
I'm very
Get your
guilty
health
of that.
insurance. Hey, I'm no different. Adam, I'm no different, man. I'm no
Yeah.
different. I'm talking through experience now. I'm a 50-year-old man. I've been there, man. I've been there. Neglected health, ate crazy, all that all day long. Nope, nope. We just work, 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 and then the whole time your health is declining. So
Right.
you're gonna build this empire just to die. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No, you're.
Yeah. Enjoy some of the fruits of your labor, man. Take care of
Yeah.
yourself along the way, man. And
Exactly. I see all that.
do not sacrifice your health for money, man. Don't do it, man. Because when you get sick and you laid up, trust me, and anybody that's ever had money that got sick, they will give it up to be healthy.
Yeah.
They will
You'll
give it up to be healthy.
you'll give all that money back.
You'll give it back, man. You'll
Yeah.
give it back to be healthy. I'm telling you right now.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Um.
So you got to find that balance. Salute the lean trucker. That balance. That's a good challenge lean trucker got out, man. Check that out, man. Finding the balance, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And you post a lot of videos and stuff for your vacations, showing that
Mm-hmm.
living that complete life and the balance and
Mm-hmm.
um like you said, you can't take it with you. You work
Mm-hmm.
hard to be able to do that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
make sure you do it. I'm being hypocritical right now. I'll be honest
Mm.
with you. I'm not doing that part right.
That's all right. I
you know?
mean, we all been hypocrites, and some of us are still hypocrites. But as long as you start thinking about it, you're that much better.
Yeah.
Just keep it in the forefront, man. And you
Baby
don't have
steps.
to. Yeah, that's it, man.
Got my
That's
got
it.
my got my health drinks right here. Obviously
That's
there's a
it.
lot more to it than that.
That's it. The first thing is just trying to get your diet in order. Try to get your
Yeah.
eating in order, and then try to work a little exercise in there. What can be just walking. I'm
Yeah.
not saying you got to go to the gym and pound out all these weights for hours on there. No, just walk, bro. Just
Yep.
drink a lot of water and try to walk more. You
Yep.
know?
Since I've been off, I'm mostly off the road, mostly, not
Mm-hmm.
completely, but try to walk the dog every day. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good thing, and just doing more around the house. So just being active and catching up on some things I've been neglecting.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that's
there's
and
that.
that's and that's one thing. And you know me, we talk about this all the time. I try not to talk about the trucking part so much because there's so much information out here. You got you, Cash is King. I mean, I can go down the list of all the guys that's out here doing good work and great freight. And The information is out here for trucking. Like, you don't need me to tell you how to truck. Hell, you can Google it.
Right.
It's like, how do I start my authority? Go to the FMCSA website. Like, boom, it's right there. Like, you don't have to ask people on YouTube how to do this. The information is there. Don't be lazy. Go to the people who you have to be in compliance with. All right. If you want to learn how to do this stuff, if you want to know how to open a brokerage, the information is right there. FMCSA website. Like, this stuff is not complicated. I didn't have all this information that a lot of these guys getting into the business now have. Hey, bro, it was no Google when I
Yes.
started trucking.
There was
You know
no
what I'm
YouTube.
saying?
There was no Google.
There was no YouTube. It was
There's
no
no cell
Google, man.
phones.
You
There's
know,
no
bro.
tablets. There's no computers.
No, we didn't have these
No.
smartphones. It didn't have live feeds where I could say, Adam, how do I fill this? I didn't have that, bro. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It was a whole lot of this.
Yeah.
Scratching out, white out, wait, let's try this again. You know what I mean? It's a whole lot of that, bro. You know what I mean? So this stuff
Yeah.
is easy.
The opportunity has never been as big as it is right now. I mean, obviously rates are good, but
Mhm.
you know, I do a lot of videos trying to show people stuff how to do this with their business. Sage
Mhm.
does. You talk a lot about your experience. Giving people a head start. You know,
Mhm.
if somebody's going to get into this, some people sit there and berate new guys or tell them, you know, whatever that they don't know. Why not help them? Give them a head
Mhm.
start. I want
Mhm.
to see them make it. You know, I don't like to see people fail. Like, if you're going to
Mhm.
do it, obviously you got to do your own homework, get yourself ready. But resources, it's all about, everything is about resources. There's so many
Yep.
resources available right now. Like, I don't mean it like this to say it like this, but if you fail,
Sad.
like, I don't want to say it's your own fault, but you
Mhm.
had every resource available to you. The opportunity is enormous. Obviously, there's other things that are out of your control that could make you fail. You could blow an engine. You could drive your truck into the ocean. I don't know.
Mhm.
All kinds of reason to fail. But
And if
like,
you're in truck, if you're in trucking long enough, you will blow an engine. Okay, I'm just saying.
I have
You will blow it.
twice. Yeah,
I have
yeah.
multiple times. You know
It's
what
it's
I mean?
being
It's just
prepared
fucking.
for it. Yeah,
That's it.
it's being prepared, and
Mhm.
you know the odds of you making it have never been better than they are right now. But that still
Mhm.
doesn't mean that everybody should do it. Like, you gotta have the first thing I would say to anybody is get your personal life in control. Like, get your debt
Mm.
under control.
Very
Learn to
important.
budget money. Learn to save. Learn to be disciplined with money, and get your emotions out of it. Like, start making decisions with money without emotion, and
Mm.
practice. Like, if you're a company driver, practice running that truck like it was yours.
Absolutely.
Make your mistakes on somebody else's dime. Not that you should tear their stuff up and whatever,
Mhm.
but I can't see coming right out of driving school, getting your own authority,
Mhm.
and all that right away. Why not learn on? You got a lot to learn. The learning curve is huge. Why not do it on somebody else's dime?
Absolutely.
Not that I'm saying you can't or you shouldn't, you know,
No, because
but
it
give
can
yourself a
always be the
chance.
unicorn guy who can actually make it happen. But most guys, you're not going to make it happen that way. You
Right?
know, you're going to have to go through it.
Yeah, yeah. Give yourself the best odds of success that you possibly can.
Hmm.
But you know,
Hmm.
you said it's not all about trucking.
Hmm.
So let's talk about something else.
I think
Uh,
trucking is and to be quite honest, I think trucking is the easiest part.
yeah, it's a tool.
I think
You know,
that's the easiest part.
a carpenter has a hammer, you know, and a
Hmm.
nail gun and a pickup truck. You know, we have a truck and a trailer, and we haul freight. What what about after that? What's next? You know, you got your whole life. You're making all this
Absolutely.
money. Like, you can't help but make decent money right now. You should be.
Absolutely.
Uh, then what? So
Hmm.
you've come up with something called this $10,000 challenge.
Yeah,
Right?
let's
For
talk
people that
about it.
don't know about it, let's talk about that because I love it.
Oh man, and I didn't, and I wish T Hill was in here
He might
because
be. He's usually in here, but he might be behind the
yeah,
scenes here.
yeah, I should have shared this out. But yeah, uh, I wish he was in there because we actually talked about this before we started the challenge. And like, what are the one of the main components that people are going to need if they want to go to in any kind of business, not just trucking, is how to manage money, right? And most of us, and I'll say me, and I'll say most of the people that I talk to weren't taught how to manage money. I didn't.
Schools
My
don't
father
teach it.
didn't teach me this. I didn't come from that background. I had to learn how to manage money by screwing up money.
Yeah.
That's how I learned. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh wow. You know what I mean? This is
Hmm.
actually a tool. This is actually a tool. You know what I mean?
Right.
Damn, this is actually a tool. And when you start looking at it that way, and you'll start thinking different. You'll start using money like it's supposed to be used. To get things done. So with the challenge, that's why we started with the challenge. So we started with the $10,000 challenge. We just threw a number on there. We try to do a fair number. We didn't want to be too low. We didn't want to be too high because we want to make you actually have to work for it. You know what I mean? It actually takes discipline like anything else and keep doing it over and over again. So that makes good habits. So we started with this $10,000 challenge, just saving $27.40 a day. If you save it every day or every week, however your pay is set up, you just put that money away every day, every week, every month, or like I said, however it's set up, and you do that continuously, the same way every time. That's building up a muscle. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Building discipline.
Absolutely, discipline. It builds a whole lot of things along the way that you don't even realize. But at the end of the year, when you have 10,000 or 20,000 or whatever you decide to save, you're less likely to screw that money up. You're going to think about how you spend that money because you're going to look back of what you had to do to save that money.
Right.
You know,
You
so you're
felt
not
some
just
pain.
going to absolutely, and you
You got to
wanted
feel
to
some
feel some
pain.
pain. And that's why I say you want to make a sacrifice. You want to, I don't know if you got to give up coffee, if you're a coffee drinker, to save this money, to do this challenge, or whatever it is, you know, sacrifice something to save this money.
Um, you know, some of it can even be done without sacrifice. Even just putting it on paper. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
have this money coming in, you pay your bills.
We got the paper right
Put it
there.
on paper and say, "Oh, well, I have this extra money. I can continue to do what I'm doing. I just have to assign it to somewhere." You know, you're assigning
Mm,
that $27 a day or a week or whatever to somewhere,
mm-hmm.
and it just becomes, "Oh, well, you mean I can save $10,000 with the money I already make?" You know, I already had this money. I just didn't know it.
We just didn't know it.
And it'll probably end up being when you get there. Think about the sense of accomplishment. And it'll probably be more
Mm,
money than most people have ever had at one
let's
time
talk about
in their
it. And
life.
that's the way we had these conversations. And we'll keep it a buck. Most truck drivers and
Yes.
most people, and I'm throw truck drivers in there, don't have $5,000 cash money in the bank.
What's the statistic like nationally? Only what less than 10% of the people have $600 to their name.
Hey, all of us in here, I think, got access to Google. We can all Google it. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying? It's crazy, man.
It's astonishing. And
It
to
is
you know,
astonishing when you think about it, man.
let's think about it. For most of us don't have a college education. You know,
Mm-hmm.
trucking is a job you can get into without completing high school or whatever. There's a lot of highly educated people doing this. Um, I say it all the time. This is the best opportunity most of us will ever have in our lives to make a
Mm-hmm.
college level income without going to college. In fact, we'll probably make more than most of the people going to college
That's a
because
fact.
they're gonna number one, they're gonna start off at a low wage and be saddled with $100,000 in student loans right off the bat.
Absolutely.
So don't squander it. Man, if you're a company driver right now wanting to be an owner operator, do this $10,000 challenge, save
Mm-hmm.
up $10,000, and instead of going into a company desperate and just going along with whatever they say and signing up for this lease purchase that'll break you,
Mm-hmm.
you be in the position of power. They're doing
Absolutely.
that because they're in the position of power.
Mm-hmm.
You know, money shouldn't change you, whatever, but it can help you. Like
Mm-hmm.
you be in a more powerful position. Take advantage of
Absolutely.
it. Use it as a tool. You know, a carpenter, his nail gun wears out. He's probably going to go buy a better one. You
Mm-hmm.
know, have a better hammer. You can drive more nails, whatever. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's you'll be surprised what it can do for you. You shouldn't
Absolutely.
act like a jackass with money. Don't do that.
Nope.
It should not determine your character.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But
Mm-hmm.
use it for the tool that it is. And I think that's kind of
Correct.
what you're helping people with. So everybody check out Dirty Broke's channel and
Mm-hmm.
get in on that. Even if you don't participate, follow along,
Yeah.
watch it. You know, people. You know, T Hill, he's usually in here, talks
Mm-hmm.
about his results. You know,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of other guys. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so they're people just like me and you and everybody else doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So what if you start late? You know,
Yeah,
maybe you
it
just
don't
finish
matter.
a little later.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit, you can start anytime. You can start today, you can start anytime, but just start. It's just like exercising. Gotta start somewhere. Just start. One
Yeah.
jumping jack, one push-up.
And when you get to
Just
10,000,
do it.
I tell people all the time, and it might not make sense, but I think if you participate in this and you get to the 10,000, and that's the most you've ever had, or it makes you feel great.
Oh my
Um,
God.
I tell
Oh, you're
people
gonna
this all
feel
the
great.
time. What do you do with the 10,000?
Mm. And we got a plan
Maybe
for that.
yeah, you do. Some people
Yep.
do nothing. Just
Hmm.
get used to having it.
There
Because
you go.
most of us, we get this kind of money. We think, oh, I'm gonna go buy a new
Gotta
car. I'm
spend
gonna
it.
buy new furniture. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to
Money
spend it like
burns a hole in your
it's a
pocket. Yeah. Yeah.
disease. I got to get rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get comfortable having
I
it.
should have this. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
just
know?
sit there. Just let it be. Or maybe
Uh-huh.
take $5,000 out, put it in your in your house, or carry $1,000 around in your pocket, and see how long you can go without spending it. Just till you
Hmm.
forget about it, that it's there. To build
Yep.
comfort with having money.
Absolutely. Get used to having money, man.
Most of
And
it's
it
a
is.
psychological exercise.
It is. That's primarily what it is. We have, and this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to start at ground zero to change your thought pattern, man, of how you look at money. That's what we're trying to do. Because once we tap into that, now we can build you and we can build me, because I'm going to feed off you. It's
Right.
like anything else, man. When you go hard, I want to go hard with you. You're
That's
not going
right.
to leave me behind if you saving money. I need to get in. You know
It's
what
just
I'm
like having a
saying?
workout partner. You push each other, and you
Absolutely.
accountability and all that.
Absolutely. And we hold each other accountable and we do monthly checkups. In fact, we got a checkup coming. We do our checkup the first Sunday of every month. 4th of July be the first Sunday of July. We should be at $5,069. Okay. That's where we
Okay.
should be. We do that every month. We'll do a live feed and we talk about it, and we hold everybody that's participating that I know of, we hold each other accountable. They send me these settlements and I post them up in my community post.
Good
And
deal.
if you don't get, and I call the guys. I'm like, yo, Sunday's coming. I need your settlement. Give me a snapshot, you know,
Hmm.
and they send it to me and I post it up in the community. First
Keep
Sunday
each
of
other
every month.
motivated.
Just keep us, yeah. Like, yo, where you at? What's going on?
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's acknowledge some of the people that are in here. Some good channels and some good people. If you're in here and you have a channel, go ahead and post your link. Drop
Oh,
your
that's
link.
what's up.
We got Trucker Abdullah. Hey, but he's a crossover from your channel, friend of yours, I believe.
Yeah. Yep.
Also,
Salute.
yep. Thanks for
Owner,
stopping
owner
in.
operator. Owner operator. Salute to him.
Jay True, familiar face. Red
Yes,
Diesel.
sir. That's my brother Jay.
How you doing?
Oh, another
Barry
cash
Arberson's in
truck,
here.
another title holder.
Oh no, Raggedy Cash Truck.
Whatever, raggedy truck.
Roe Williams in here. Nevada Trucking and Trails. Check out his channel. Don
Shout
Shonger
out.
says hello. Cash is King. Definitely check out that channel.
Uh-huh.
Cash is King says only 10,000 a week. What are you working part time? Oh, come
Hey,
on now, man.
there you go. Step it up. That's what I'm talking about, man. Hell, yeah, push it to the limit. If you can save 20, damn it, do it. If
Yep,
10,000 ain't enough, do 20. 20 ain't enough, do 40. I don't give a damn.
that's right. Yeah, definitely
You
hit
know?
that like button and then go over to Dirty Brokes channel and hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, definitely hit my subscribe button. Come on over
Yep,
there and hang out with us at the Truckers
yep,
Lounge every Friday
yep. Ruben wants to know,
after
can he
work.
start his business with $10,000 to $15,000 down and 10 to 15,000 in the bank for backup
I
on a
guess you
Kenworth
could.
W9? I think that's a pretty solid plan, doesn't it?
Yeah, you
You
could do it.
saved up some money.
Hmm.
Um,
You could do it. Now,
great rates.
the more money you can save, the better off you're going to be.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Money
hey,
lowers risk.
there you go. Because if you don't have enough money, man, you can hit one hiccup and it can wipe you out.
That's right.
You
That's right.
know.
I bought this orange truck. A little story for you. I bought it for 2016. I bought it for 40. I don't know, say like $45,000. And within 2 weeks, the motor was blown. I had a cracked cylinder and I had a scored cylinder and a cracked head.
Mm,
In 2 weeks, I needed an overhaul.
there you go.
So and
So who
survived
was that
that.
that who was that asked about that? That's what you want to keep in mind. If you put that
Ruben.
truck
Yep.
out there, Ruben, and you blow a motor or something like that, can you cover that?
Yep. That's
You
right.
know.
And may not be under. I didn't have a warranty. It wasn't a truck you could buy a warranty on, but
Hmm.
um, I made it through because of my previous habits. Saving
Hmm.
habits and
Good habits,
stuff like that.
having good
Uh,
credit, keeping your debt down.
yeah. Holy City Freight
Absolutely.
says, I think times like these can be a double-edged sword to starting trucking business. The money is good, but don't get
Mm.
used to it. That's 100%. That's exactly
Oh,
kind of what I want to
totally
talk
agree.
about. I don't
Yep.
think enough. I don't watch a ton of YouTube. Anyway, I'm just I can't spare the time right now. But
Hmm.
from what I know of, I don't think enough people are talking about that.
Mm.
They woke up woke up on third base and thought they hit a home run because they started their trucking business when freight was $5 a mile.
Yep.
That's not you didn't necessarily do that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you got in at a great time. You did. You got in at a great time, but prepare for
Mm-hmm.
things to be normal. It
Absolutely.
might take a
Just
while. It might not. We don't know. We don't know what happened to everything. Could go to hell tomorrow.
uh-huh.
I'm sure it won't. I hope it won't. I don't want it to
Mm-hmm.
happen. But anyway, Trucker
Just do the
Abdul.
right thing with your money, man. Don't overextend yourself with the money, man.
Yep. The rest you can't control.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Trucker Abdul is home wrenching right now.
There you go, man. Shout out to him, man. And
Yep.
I know he has his manual out, man.
Good. I could probably
told
learn
him,
a
man,
thing or two from him.
hey man, get your manual. If you got a truck, you got a certain kind of motor in there, go get the manual.
Mm-hmm.
That manual is your Bible. All right, look through it. Even if you don't do the wrenching, at least know the components of your truck. It's for new drivers. Older drivers, you should know this already, but have that, man. Have that manual. You can buy it. All right.
Yeah.
Every truck, every motor, they have a manual for it. All right. Go
Yeah.
make that purchase, man. I don't care if it costs you $100, man. Go make it.
Yeah.
And look through it.
Even if you don't want to touch anything,
That's right.
diagnosing can save you thousands of dollars. That's
Absolutely.
usually the most expensive part. I mean, especially with air
Absolutely.
conditioning. You know,
Yeah.
you
What do they
understand how
charge
air
you
conditioning.
now? What do they charge you now to diagnose a truck, man? You go to the shop.
Oh,
That's first thing. That's first thing they do is plug you up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They got to plug it up. All right, let's see what's wrong with it. Let's plug it up. And
they might fight you
at least $100.
They might fight you on that, but just say, hey, listen, point to it right here.
There
See, you don't have to look around. I'm showing you right here. So, I'm gonna pay for all this diagnostic time. But
and do not be afraid to look over his shoulder, man, if you can. I know a lot of shops that you can't go in the shop, but every time when you're getting a roadside, damn it, be over his shoulder. Okay.
Yeah.
If you don't know, get in there and learn. Like I said, I'm not saying you got to do the work. At least know what the hell's going on. It's your truck,
right.
Man.
Absolutely. My trucking skills in here, so it's learning a lot from watching the video.
Mm-hmm.
Sage Logic posted his phone number here. If anybody needs help, go ahead and give him a call.
That's what's up.
Jerome Jones in the house. Big money. Welcome in.
Uh-huh.
Most of us are one illness away from being financially wiped out.
Oh,
that's exactly.
That's a good point. Who said that? That was a good
Georgia
point.
Patriot.
Because if you look at the statistics, most people when they file bankruptcy, a lot of it has to do with
medical
health, medical.
Yeah, I read a while back.
I don't know if people realize that, but that is it, man.
I read a while back that the credit agencies are starting to give less weight to medical bad debt because everybody has it. Absolutely. They're not counting it as harshly against your credit score.
Yep.
Because it's everybody nowadays.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
BT Trucking says all insurance sucks, but is needed. You are absolutely right.
This is part of doing business, man. And people, I can't afford health insurance. Well, you can't afford to be in business. I hate to be that blunt, but it is what it is. If you can't afford if you're an owner, operator, fleet owner, whatever you are, you can't afford health insurance, you can't afford to be in business. Because you can't drive that truck up and down the road without insurance on the truck. So why wouldn't you put insurance on your own ass?
Right.
Like, come on, man. It's crazy.
Right.
Got to factor that in. Got to figure it out.
Roe Williams is in the process of buying a truck now, but really doesn't know a lot about the truck. Any advice of how big a factor that can play with getting started?
Man, it's a lot of YouTube over here, man. You can learn a lot, man. You just got to listen. You got to listen real good, man. You can learn a lot, man.
Yeah, just never stop searching. Like keep
information.
Hunting.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Keep asking the same question and see what answers you get. When you start getting the same answer, that's probably the right answer.
Exactly.
Ask a whole bunch of different people.
Yep.
Don't just lock into one person. Don't just listen to Dirty Broke. Don't just listen to DIY. Don't just listen to Cash is King. Talk to everybody and compile that information, man. You got to be good at getting information.
Yeah, it's don't be too proud.
No.
Jeepers Christ. Don't be too proud. And when somebody's trying to teach you something, listen. Like find what I've always done, find somebody smarter than you and freaking listen. Just my trucking skill says
that's why I listen to you. You know a whole lot of I don't want to curse. You know a whole lot of stuff I don't know, so I listen to you. Okay?
Well, likewise.
Even a lot of the younger guys that I talk to, I learn a lot from them guys, man.
Yeah.
I learn a lot from those guys every day, man.
Yep. My trucking skills says he lives in Los Angeles, been driving for 2 decades, is a company driver, wants to stay local with his own authority. Can it be profitable with just doing power only loads? My trucking skills, you need to check out a channel, a friend called Vic Med. He's down there in Southern California,
There you go.
doing just what you're talking about, and he's the man on that
That'd be
information.
that'd be a good place to start.
Yep, the channel is Vic Med. So check
And
that
this
out.
is
Tell him we sent you over.
yeah, and this is another thing I say. If you want to be successful at something, find somebody that's doing the exact same thing that you're trying to be successful at and pick their brain.
Yeah, it's all here on YouTube. There's somebody.
That's it.
Anything you want to do, there's somebody doing it.
Somebody doing it. You just
Yep.
got to find them. They're there.
Yep. Yep.
And don't just look at the YouTubers with the big subscriber counts, man, because there's a lot of jewels with
smaller
YouTubers
channels
with
are where it's at.
Oh my God, you find so many diamonds. I think that's where I found you.
Yeah.
Now you're a big YouTuber now, so
But I hope
you was a smaller YouTuber at one point.
well, I still am in comparison. I
Yeah,
hope
yeah,
that
I know, but
I don't
yeah,
change.
absolutely.
Like if I ever start to change, you smack me down.
Only thing I seen that you change, which is a good thing, that you don't spend as much time on YouTube, which is a good thing for you, for your
Yeah.
business, because now you're getting locked in on your business, which
Yeah.
if you're in business, you should be dialed in on your business.
We were going to do this yesterday, and I didn't tell you at the time, but you had to go do something else out of the blue.
Mhm.
And just as you called, I got 2 phone calls that things are burning down. Somebody had an accident, and somebody broke down. So I would, if you didn't back out, I was going to have to.
and that's what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's trucking, man. You try
Yeah,
to do
so-
these, things like this and get information, but sometimes they happen, Like I
Yep.
forgot I had to take my wife's car to get inspected yesterday. I was like, soon as I got off the phone with you, she called me. She's like, "You ready?" I was like, "Ready for what?" She's like, "You got to take the car." I was like, "Oh shit!" I said, "Let me call DIY. We got to cancel." So we had
Hey,
to
that's
cancel
all right,
the last minute. That's what it is.
We both know. Great Freight Sage Logic says, "What is this balance you speak of? This vacation you speak of? How does one get one of those? Is it click and ship?"
Yeah. Hey, it could be it could be rough, man, trying to take a vacation.
Not with these freight rates, Eric. You don't want that shipped to you. Jay True says, "Straightforward information is in abundance out here." You're exactly right.
Mhm.
You're exactly right. And
Mhm.
Jay True participates in a lot of that. I know.
Mhm. And I wish Jay Truce would do more YouTube, but he's got a business to run, man, because that guy has a lot of knowledge, man.
You know who
If
I
you
haven't
just
seen
talk
much
to him.
lately is Truckin' Mo Biz. I enjoy that channel.
Yeah,
That
that's
guy's
a
got a
good
lot
point.
to teach.
Where is Truckin' Mo Biz at, man?
Somebody reach out to Truckin' Mo
Somebody
Biz
reach out to him, man.
and tell him to get back
That
in
is
here.
a
We need
solid
that, man.
guy, man. Yeah, I haven't seen
Yeah.
him in a while, man. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
guy there, man. You can
Yep.
learn a lot from Truckin' Mo Biz. We all can learn a lot from Truckin' Mo Biz, man. It's a wealth of knowledge and information.
Yep. Trucking with Diabetes, good show. Thank you. Go ahead and post your link there, Trucking with Diabetes. You talk a lot about health. Cassius King's got a second
That's
channel called
Cash.
Trucking
Yep.
with Diabetes.
And I have to subscribe to that channel, actually. I
Yeah.
feel bad, Cash. I'm not even subscribed to that channel, but
A lot
I
of
will get
truckers
over
out
there.
here with diabetes. You need to watch that.
I'm subscribing to your channel, your other channel, Cash, right now. Cash is another solid guy. I actually had the pleasure of meeting Cash. We actually broke bread. So salute to my brother Cash, who was
Yep.
in my hometown yesterday, man.
Oh, down in Philly?
I hope you got a cheesesteak, Cash, because I meant to say that to you, but I was in the middle when you was live. I was in the middle of cutting my grass, and I was like, "He's sitting right in South Philly. I hope he go get a cheesesteak." So, did you get a cheesesteak yesterday, Cash?
I don't think he did.
Oh
think he
my
did.
God! Do not come to my city and not get a cheesesteak, Cash. Come on.
Yep. Oh Lord says, think success no matter what happens. It's kind of right. A lot of it is psychological. Nathaniel Baker says you'd be surprised how much money you spend on soda in a month.
Oh, good point.
Guilty.
Who was that? Who said that?
Nathaniel Baker.
Oh, salute to Nathaniel, man. That's a good point, man.
If we're being honest right here. I'm guilty.
Me too. I'm guilty of spending money on some of the dumbest stuff. I don't want to curse.
That's all right. You can do it.
And I'll tell you, this is what everybody should do. When this live feed is over, because we want y'all to watch to the end. When this live feed is over, go into your bank statement, your debit card that you use for your personal, not your business, your personal, and look through there and see what you could have did without. And I want you to total that up. just for the month, your last month statement, and go through there line by line and say, I could have did without this, did without this, did without this, and total that up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, do that.
And then,
you know what I mean?
And then do that for your business. Like if you're an owner operator, do that for your business.
Absolutely.
Granted, most of the stuff you're going to need, but let's be
hopefully
honest,
in your business, you're not
find yourself
squandering
in
your
the chrome
business
shop.
money. Yeah. Do not hang out in the chrome shops, man. Okay. When you're trying to start a business, man. The chrome shop is for guys that already made it. All right.
Yeah.
If you hadn't made it yet, and I don't know when that is, when you actually made it, I don't know. I don't know what that is, what that number looks like. But if you didn't make it yet, stay out of the chrome shop, man. Just keep the truck running.
If I walked into the chrome shop, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, what are you looking for? What are you driving?" I saw that Schneider truck out there. They'd be like, "Get the hell out of here! What are you doing in here? Don't ever come back in here with that Schneider truck."
Just go in the chrome shop and window shop. Don't buy nothing, all right? Because what they say, chrome don't get you home, all right?
That's right. It don't.
It looks good, man.
Yeah, Ruben saved $25,000 working for a company. He's now trying to finance a KW W900. Good for you. Good for you.
It's good for you, man. Salute, man.
Good job. Well done.
There. Yeah, well done, man. You say how much? He saved 25,000.
25,000. He said.
Oh my God! You are light years ahead of most people that come into trucking, man.
Yeah,
because the majority of people that I know came into trucking on a shoestring budget.
Yeah. Well, you can walk into most mega carriers without a penny and get you a brand new truck.
Now, and I don't know how all that works. I'm not from that world. I'm listening. I see a lot of guys, they do the whole lease deals, and I'm not taking shots at guys that do it. I just don't know anything about it. So I'm learning. I listen to the Joshuas, the LaShawn Parks, the guys that lease these trucks and seem to be successful. I don't know anything about it. I never leased a truck in my life.
That's the thing, is everybody's definition of success is different. I guess mine is way different. Some people, you can lease a truck like that and still walk away at the end of the week with $1,500, maybe even a little more. But to some people, that's 6 times the most money they've ever had in their entire life making every week. So success to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
For me, it's not quite where I want to be.
Absolutely.
You don't start. You got to start. There's levels. You don't start at the top. For me, it's my personal opinion. That's why I can't see starting off with a brand new truck like that. Like I've never done anything in my life where I've started at the top. It's scratching and clawing to get there. Nathaniel Baker also says it's all about assets and liabilities to learn the difference. You're exactly right. Robert Kiyosaki talks a lot about that. You're familiar with him, probably. Everybody kind of is. Yeah, what the middle class buy liabilities that they think are assets, and that's what will always keep them in the middle class.
Oh, that's a fact.
It is.
That is a fact. Man.
Dud Hemsworth in the house. He says, "What do you think about the Truckers Coach TV shutting down his authority and going to do lease purchase?" I don't know anything about that.
I've heard something about it, but I don't. I think I just heard that a couple of days ago. I was like, "Oh, that's interesting."
Yeah. I've seen Truckers Assistant Coach TV, but I've never really watched Truckers Coach TV.
Yeah, I never. No, I've actually seen his. He usually goes live when I'm asleep. Me, I'm a night rider, so I catch a little bit of the replay, but I talk a lot and I'm on the phone all night long. You know what I mean? I'm on the phone. We'll talk all night long. Like I talk to everybody. Like we talk. Anybody that gets on the track we call it the track, the highway we run, and we talk all night long. We're bouncing different ideas off each other. I'm learning, I'm studying, they're learning. I try to learn and teach at the same time. I'm learning from you, and maybe I can teach you something. Maybe you can teach me something. That's what we do. We do that all night long.
And that's no offense to Truckers Coach. There's 500 trucking channels. I can't watch them all. Like, not that kind of time in a day.
And I heard some people bashing him about it, and I'm not going to bash anybody for making a decision they think they need to make in their business. It's his business.
Bottom line, he's a grown man. He can take care of himself.
And you know what? And don't be afraid to change your mind, man. You can change your mind. You can do it a different way and be more successful at a different way. I mean, just because this don't work for you, try it that way.
Absolutely. Yeah, HBN Trucking says buy a T600. W900 is nice, but you can make the same with a T600. Yeah, I mean,
that's one thing. Now that's one thing I would never do is tell somebody what to buy.
That's their money.
That's their money. You do what you want to do. Now, if you ask me what I would buy, then I would tell you. But I would never tell somebody, no, don't buy this, buy that. I wouldn't tell nobody to do that.
There you go. Fate Trucking says, put yourself in a position of power is a must. Absolutely right. Aaron W. in the house showing some love. Anchor Watt says, is it too late to get in the game? What's
Never
this I'm
too
hearing about self-driving trucks? No, it's not. I have just a broad opinion on that, and it's only my opinion. Everybody else can think exactly what they want. If you're looking to get in the game right now to participate in the money grab, I think it is a little late. Not that it's over, not that this market is over, but you got to have some time. Like, you're going to overpay for a truck right now. You're going to overpay for a trailer. You got to have some time to recoup that and get back to even. And is there that kind of time left? Maybe. How long can a cycle like that run? It might run another year. I don't know. There's people trying to stop it. I'll damn sure tell you that. I've been having some conversations behind the scenes here with different people. There is some serious money trying to put a stop to this. And the self-driving trucks thing. I tell you what anybody thinks about autonomous trucks and self-driving trucks does not matter. Nobody cares about what I think. Nobody cares about what you think. I'm telling you right now, it's happening. And there is some big money behind it to make sure it happens. And there's people sending that kind of money to Washington with people to make sure it happens, to get legislation to make sure that it happens. Does that mean we're all going to be out of a job? No, absolutely not. I'm not saying we're all going to get fired. We're all going to lose our jobs. There's no owner operators, but things are going to change. They're using this crisis, whether you know it or not, whether it's public knowledge or not, whether it's talked about or not. They're using this crisis to get what they want.
But one thing you better know in business, I'm going to cut you off, but one thing you better know in business is you better be adaptable.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
You better be adaptable. If you're not adaptable in business, you will be out of business. And DIY, we had this conversation.
Yep.
You better be constantly adapting to technology if you want to stay in business.
Yep.
Don't be the resistant party, because your ass gonna get ran over.
Yeah.
You better figure it out and get on board and ride with it.
Yeah. So is it too late? So is it too late? No. But make sure your reason is right. Do it for the right reason. You want to be in it for long term. You want to be your own boss. You want to see if you can build a business, or you just want the freedom. You've been thinking about doing it for a long time. Hey, those are all valid reasons. But it might, not saying it is, but it might be a little late for the money grab thing. It might.
Yeah. And the thing about it, like you said, it might, and that might's a big, because nobody really knows. But I'll say this, like you said, if you buy a truck right now, you're going to pay, they're overpriced. The market is up. It is what it is. But what I would say, if you buy it right now, get it paid off as soon as possible.
Make the most of it.
Make the most of it. Try to pay it off. Just in case the bottom falls out a month from now, get that truck, that balance knocked down on that truck.
You get that truck paid off, you start hammering down on your house. You start hammering on your student loans, your car.
Whatever your loans are. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Get in where you fit in, man.
Yeah. And Ancore also wants to know, is healthcare tax write-off? Yes, it is.
Yep.
Yes, it is for your, if you're self-employed. Yes.
Absolutely.
What else we got here? Fate Trucking says, health insurance isn't something to stress about. I found the same insurance plan I had as a company driver for. Take time and research it. You'll find it. Yeah, I want to get him on to talk about that. We're gonna try to get together for a video and talk about that. He, one of the people, he did it, so I want him to tell everybody else how to do it.
There you go. Yeah,
that's a guy you definitely,
you definitely need to get him on, because that's very important, man. A lot of people don't like to talk about it, and if we're being honest, most owner operators don't have health insurance.
Yeah, and thank you, by the way, for the super chat, $15 super chat from Fate Trucking. I do appreciate that. Thank you. What else we got here? HBN Trucking. I paid cash for an 04 KW leased onto a company that doesn't have age restrictions. Use that money to fix up the truck now in the process of getting my authority. There you go. That's how you work your way up.
Salute.
Laura Bruno's in here. Good channel. Says hi. Drop your link, Laura. Everybody check out that channel. Everybody here with a channel, you go ahead and drop your link. Do that. We all support each other.
Yes, sir.
I think we got a big star in the house. Hold on, we gotta add somebody in here.
Oh man, who we got coming in? There he is. Switch.
Come on in. He's gonna get on me about my raggedy ass cash truck, I imagine.
Your favorite lease driver.
DY, man. Yeah, DIY,
Come on with
man.
it.
I'm finna buy a cash truck this weekend.
We got him over to the dark side, man. We got him over.
Say it again. You broke up a little bit. I gotta hear you.
Oh, I'm buying a cash truck the weekend.
Golf clap. There you go. So tell us about it.
Yeah,
tell us this. Everybody, truck. Joshua Longino. I'll try to find a link to your channel here.
2013. It's a 2013 Kenworth T660, 635,000 miles, Cummins, 25 grand. So, it is.
So what you gonna do with it? What's the plan? What's the big plan here?
Put a drive in it.
All right. Money. Not a bad plan. Now's the time.
Buy another reefer.
Okay. Now's the time to try it. Yep. I'll tell you that. You know.
Well, for one thing, if I don't make no money, you can sit in my yard. Go grass around it.
Oh, we ain't gonna do that. No, we ain't gonna do that. We'll find something for it to do now. Damn it. Shit.
So what? I've watched your channel a little bit, your live streams. What put you up to this? Like, I thought you were dead set against something like that. So what brought you around?
We constantly be punching him in the face, man. You gonna buy that cash truck, man. You gonna buy that cash truck.
I can't get a new truck now, so and I can't get a new truck next year. So I'm in charge.
Oh, is it my audio or are you getting the breaking up too?
Yeah, he's breaking up. He's got a bad signal.
I want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, hold on. Let me reset it. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like bringing Darth Vader over to the good side, isn't it?
And what did we talk about earlier? It's okay to change your mind, man.
Yeah, it is.
And one thing, do not be stubborn when it comes to business, people. Don't get stuck in your old ways, man. You'll be extinct out here if you do, man. I'm telling you, man. You got to be adaptable, man.
Like I said, don't be too proud to learn something, and don't be too proud to, like, we're obviously joking with him and just giving him a hard time, but good for him.
Absolutely,
he saw that, okay, there is an opportunity here. This can work. I'm gonna go ahead and change my mind, and I don't care what anybody says. So good for him. And he's young. He's got a lot of time to hammer this out.
Absolutely, man. He's got youth on his side, man. That's a good thing to have on your side, man. I'll tell you that right now.
Do you think we'll get him to give up the Charger and buy a +78 Plymouth?
No. I'm trying, but that's gonna be hard right there. Give up that Charger. He ain't giving up that Charger.
I ain't gonna give up that Charger, man.
We go.
I'm good.
I ain't gonna stop working on him, man. We're gonna still work on him, goddammit.
So you were breaking up pretty bad there, Joshua. Tell us what the plan is. Break it down.
Okay, I'm gonna buy the truck the weekend. I'm gonna take the truck home. I'm gonna let my mechanic. I'm gonna take my mechanic to check it out before I cash out. Anyway, with me, and I'll take it home. And he tell me what he need this. All that with me, and then I just work and save my money and just go buy another reefer. Where I got this reefer from? Yeah, I'm gonna have to spend another $40,000. Everybody was clowning me about $40,000, but you gotta understand this trailer was up under Penske contract maintenance the whole life of the trailer.
Okay.
So,
that's a raggedy ass Wi-Fi you got going on, man.
We got to get him out.
Force Verizon. Ooh wee. Switchblade, you raggedy boy.
My sound back.
Oh man.
Hello.
Ooh wee.
I hope that new truck don't break up like that cell service.
Oh man, we need a force regen on that. I think he dropped a liner in there, man.
No,
Yeah,
good for him. So
yeah, that is good for him, man.
yeah,
And
and
he just paid cash for his reefer. He's getting ready to buy a cash truck.
okay.
Let's go.
Now is he still? I haven't. Me and him have not spoken before. I know he was hauling for that certain company. Is he still doing that, or has he gone a different route with that reefer? Or I thought they were dry van only.
No, he's still with the same company. No, they do
Okay.
reefer too.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, good.
Yep.
Yeah, now's the time. Me and Eric, a great faith sage, I actually talked about this. Now's the time to try anything you want to try. Just
Absolutely.
measure it out. Measure it out. Obviously, I've been expanding considerably and doing a lot of new things, but this is what I've saved my whole life for.
Oh, let's talk about you a little bit. Let's talk about you a little bit, man. What are you doing? What have you been doing, man? I see all these trucks posted. There's a new truck every week. What's going on? What's going on over there at DIY? What's going on?
Well, right now we're at 6 trucks, soon to be 7 here. Oh, thank you. One more guy coming.
Pat on the back, man.
I'll break my arm trying to do it.
That's major.
We'll be at 7 pretty soon, and I think I'm just gonna probably level it off there for a while and let
can
things
you send me over a job application right now? Can you send that to me? Send me that over right now.
You don't want that. But things are going well. How do I say it? It's a struggle. But I enjoy it. I like running the business. Still driving a little bit, less and less every week. Last week I did not go on the road at all. This week I haven't. I did move a trailer yesterday morning about 5 miles. But then I came right back home again.
And I'll say this: running a fleet, the sooner you can get out of the truck, the better off you're going to be for your business.
Cash,
the sooner you can get out.
Cassius King and I have a lot of conversations. We should do them on air because they're good. And it's like, why are we talking? But he told me a long time ago, probably 6 months ago, he's like, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time driving that truck. Like you should be home running the business. And I didn't listen to him.
Because
I should have sooner.
Trucks, all of us, most of us in here are truck drivers. Driving these trucks, it's very time consuming.
Yes.
And when you're running a fleet, you don't have that kind of time to be sitting in the truck, man. You need to be doing other things, man.
Yes. And people think, what do you do? People don't realize all the things there is to do.
Ooh.
Like I could outsource everything,
yeah,
but then there's nothing left for me. Like I outsource it all, I pay for it all, but then what's left for me?
And then you outsource it all, and it eats up your profit.
Exactly, there'll be no money left. It's a very slim margin, anyways. It's made me see a lot of things differently that I already did, but it's made me realize, and people might get mad if you're me making this statement. I hope you reconsider and think about it. People get mad at their carriers for the percentage that they take or keep, not take, I shouldn't say keep, or however their split is or however their plans work out. There is a lot you don't see. I'm going to tell you right now, there is a lot you don't see. My drivers don't see it either because I keep them from it. They don't need to see it. They just need to know they have enough to do.
They are what they are. They're drivers. Drive a truck. Do what I tell you to do. Go where I tell you to go. That's it. That's your job. That's what I pay you for.
If we're building a proper business relationship and things like that, I've seen other guys say, I don't do this for my drivers. I don't do that for my drivers because I'm not a babysitter. They have to stand on their own 2 feet. You know what? I'm gonna say I disagree with that. I want them to succeed. Because if they succeed, I succeed. The more that they succeed, the more that I succeed. If they need tires, guess what? I'm going to spend 4 or 5 hours making phone calls and sending emails, checking all my national accounts to find them the best damn tire price that I can, because that's what I want. They save $500 on a set of steer tires. They're very happy. And guess what? Then I'm happy. That's what my job is, I'm going to I sit at this computer all day long, finding them the best loads, emailing all my contacts, trying to coordinate things, making sure things, when they break down, I'm on the phone trying to help them find repair shop or parts, or say, hey, here's this, here's that. I don't disagree that they should be on their own and they should stand. Yes, they should stand on their own 2 feet. It is their business, but we got to help each other. Like they haul freight, they do that.
Mhm.
I want to put them in the best position I can because I need them to succeed. Everybody complains about turnover in this business. They're screwing me. I'm going here. I don't like this. Well, do something for the people. Maybe they will stick around.
Mhm.
Now some of
Mhm.
them have not had other experiences to compare it to, so they don't know that. Okay, if I go lease on to, I'm just going to pick a company, a Schneider, whatever.
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh, how much you have a problem? Oh, well, let me know when you get your truck fixed and you can get a load again.
Mhm.
Um, I don't really allow that to happen. We need to work together, find the best you know result possible to get you back on the road, and at the lowest possible cost, and still make sure it's done right.
Mhm.
You know, we got to work together on this thing. If you can build a business that way, like they can be independent, self dispatch, blah blah blah. Yeah, you can. It'll work for a while, but if you intend to build a legit business that's going to stand the test of time and hopefully last longer than this current market environment, hey, it's all hands on deck and everybody puts their best effort in. And they
Mhm.
know, my drivers know I expect their best effort. Are things always going to work? No. Uh, you put the effort in, I'm not going to hassle you.
Mhm.
You know, sometimes
Mhm.
things are out of your control. Things are out of their control. Things are out of my control. Sometimes, it's people don't act right lately. They cancel loads. I've had drivers show up to pick up loads, and there's already another
Mm.
truck sitting in the dock loading that same load.
Wow.
I didn't have anything to do with that. All we can do is, okay, go from here, move on to
Try
the
to
next
find you
thing.
another load. Yeah, gotta find you another
And
load
they
as fast as I
understand that.
can.
Yeah, they understand that because I explain that, but they don't know, of sometimes how hard I fight to get people to pay their bill,
Mhm.
or, you know, uh, different things
Yeah.
like that, or
And
what things
it
it
doesn't
does. They don't need
benefit
to know.
you, and it doesn't benefit you to screw your guys, man. Like, you know
No,
what I'm saying?
no,
You
they'll
got
be
no benefit
gone.
of that. It
They'll
actually
be
works
gone in a
against
heartbeat.
you. Yeah, exactly, man. I'm trying to do the best job I can for you, man.
And that's, you know, and guys that are doing it that have been a driver themselves for 10, 15, 20 years, uh, should bring all that and say, you know what? Uh, these are the things I hate about trucking. These are the things I hate about the industry.
Mhm.
I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do it different. That's
Mhm.
kind of been my strategies from the beginning. I hope. I hope it. I think it does show. I think I explain a lot of things to my drivers and reasons for a lot of things, and that counts for a lot. Like, hey, I'm doing this with you, or yes, there's a load going here, but I'm not going to send you there because that area absolutely stinks, and I'm not going to send you into that. So just hold tight, and we're going to find you a load going somewhere else.
Mhm.
Uh, I try to explain a lot of things, and I think that it counts for a lot. I don't just say somebody sit there until I find you a load. Sit tight, sit tight. I say, oh, here's what I'm doing. Here's what we're looking for.
Mhm.
Uh, all those different things, and I don't mark things up. It's tires, fuel, whatever. Just the cost goes to them. Whatever, if it's their cost, it goes to them. I don't mark stuff up. Some people say I should. I don't know. I find myself getting shortchanged a lot of the times, but it's for the greater good.
Mhm.
You can't win them all. You shouldn't try to win them all. You should win. Try to win the important things, and hopefully everything works out in the end.
Mhm.
Yeah, Peaches and
Absolutely.
Grease says the worst thing that could happen is a former driver forgets what it's like to be a driver once they're out of the truck.
Mm.
Yeah, don't forget. I know how hard. Sometimes it sounds stupid, and I'm probably gonna take a lot of heat for this from other people. But sometimes I help my drivers find a freaking place to park at night
Mm.
because I absolutely freaking know what it's like. It is
It's
no
yeah,
joke.
can be a struggle. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Peaches and Grease, drop your link in here if you like. Everybody check out that channel.
Mhm.
Good channel over there.
Yep.
But
I think I checked her out. I'm not
yeah,
sure if I'm
I-
subscribed to her. I think I am.
yeah, I don't much care what kind of heat I take for that. 'Cause it's you know what, it's my business.
Absolutely,
Uh,
man. I don't. I used to worry about that kind of stuff. I don't worry about that kind of stuff anymore, man.
yeah, it got me to where I am today, and I'm
So,
good with that.
yeah.
If somebody else doesn't like it, just you get yourself somewhere where you want to be. I don't
You know
care.
what? You know what I say. If you don't like it, do something about it. Yes, we'll do. You don't like it,
Just
we'll do something.
watch something else.
Yeah,
We're
there it
we're
is.
trying to help people here, not you know
That's
uh,
it.
give people grief for what they do.
Uh-huh. Yep.
But
Yeah, man. Let me
AR, yeah, go
let
ahead.
me ask you another question. What do you find the most difficult running a fleet now that you didn't expect? That
Oh,
once you got into it and you're like, oh wow, shit, let me figure this out. Have you had that moment where you're like, wow, I ain't think about
yeah.
this? You know what I mean?
If I'm being real honest,
Yeah, yeah. Let's be
you're
hey
not
man, hey man, we need to be honest with each other, man.
you're not. This isn't the
As
answer you
you tell me
expected. I
what
guarantee you.
yours, tell me what yours, I'll tell you what mine was. And then, we kind of go
Okay.
from there.
The biggest thing I did not expect is how hard it would be to hold myself back from
Mm.
number one, from getting in the truck,
Uh-huh.
from constantly fiddling with trucks and working on my stuff
I got
to,
I got I got my wife call. Let me hear something about
oh yeah,
it.
yeah. So holding myself back from doing the things that I used to do and retraining myself to do these other things that I should be doing as far as running the business and the administrative side of it and the office stuff, the dispatching, the you talking to customers and all this, and keeping myself from doing the things that I used to do.
Uh-huh.
I still want to do them very bad. I badly want to. And eventually I'm going to need to, just to get it out of my system once in a while, go like run and load to Chicago or something, a couple 100 miles just to get it out, because I still find myself wanting to do it. Or sometimes I'm
Got
like,
that.
man, I got
Oh,
to get away,
got that
but
itch. Got
got to
that
get,
itch.
rid of that, or just find a way to scratch
Mm.
that itch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what mine's was, man,
What's that?
that I absolutely hate managing people.
It's hard.
Oh,
It's underappreciated.
oh,
It's underappreciated.
mm. I
Yeah.
found that was the worst part for me. It's like I hate this, man. Like I don't like
Yeah.
this at all, man. And it is so hard to manage grown men. That was one of the most difficult things I've ever done, man. Is try to manage guys, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All these different personalities, man. And not only do you got to manage them, sometimes you have to manage their lives.
I say
What
that a
they're
lot.
what,
I'm
hey,
responsible for their family,
and
at a
and
certain
and
point.
and I've said this. There's my wife there. Hey, love. She was just trying to call me. That's my wife there, Brooklyn.
Yep. There you go.
But and my wife would tell you this, man. It's like my phone would ring. I told you this, man. You had these conversations. I'm just making our private conversations, some of them public here,
Yeah.
so y'all can hear it. Because hey, he DIY, he knows this, man. It's when that phone ring, it's like what do you want? It's like this. Oh, what? Oh, you don't want that? Oh, okay. Woo. It's like, oh man. And then, like I said, when you have drivers, when you're running a fleet, if you got 6 drivers, 10 drivers, whatever it is, and they got wives, those wives just became your wives.
Yeah.
When they got kids, those kids just became your kids. And the reason why I say that, because everything that goes on with that guy's wife, or if she's a female husband, whatever, that's your relationship now.
Mm-hmm.
Because what goes on there in their household is going to affect you. Because if he has to call out of work to take the kid to the hospital, doctor, that affects you.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. The only
And
thing I've
people
tried to
and
do,
I didn't think about that
yeah, and
until I was already doing it. It's like,
you
whoa,
and I
God
had that
damn.
conversation
Why
before I
why am I
decided to do
talking to
this.
why am I talking to your wife? You work for me, not her. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Why am I
and I
talking
had
to your kid, man? You know what I'm saying?
I had that conversation with you before I got into this,
Absolutely.
and you told me that, and so
I told you.
what I tried to do to deal with that ahead of time is have a lot of conversations with these guys and find out what their lives are like, and
Mm,
it's been beneficial. I have a group of great people. I can honestly say that they're all good people.
mm-hmm,
One is struggling with some problems at home right now, and I'm trying to work with him the best I can. It's not his fault. I understand that, but it's a very difficult situation, and
mm-hmm.
we're trying to get through it. Um, but it's I always tell them communication, man. That's the biggest thing. If you don't communicate, none of this is going to work. No, we got the Joshua back. Let's try this again.
Okay.
What about now?
There you go.
That's better.
Yep. How y'all doing, man?
All
Good.
right, bro.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'll get back to the truck, man. It's 2013 Kenworth T660, 635,000 miles. Got a Cummins. I'm just gonna go by it, park it in my yard, get everything fixed, get it buy another reefer and put a driver. That's what my plans are.
Good
Do you
deal.
have the driver yet?
Yeah, that's what, I was
Yeah,
getting ready to ask the same thing.
yeah, I got a
Good
driver
deal.
already. He live in Vicksburg, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
Like 30 minutes from me.
Okay.
I probably just have him drive down to my yard, leave his car there or whatever. Or I come get him or whatever, you know. When he come in, he just park my truck, get my mechanic look over my truck,
And
you
that's
know.
Now, I
okay.
I can only assume, since every great general, leads by example, that you're going to put him in Black Pearl and you're going to go buy. You're going to go
Oh
drive
no.
this
Oh
2013
no.
Kenworth, right? Oh, he
Oh,
see.
we lost him again. Oh
I'm
boy.
highly offensive. He disappears right away.
I'm back, man.
He'll be back.
Oh, there you go. You might got a phone call. Oh,
Yeah,
lost
must
him.
be.
Yeah.
I knew.
And I was going to say that with his driver living close to him, which is actually a good thing. I don't know if it was planned or whatever, because now when his driver's on home time, he can look over the truck.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My drivers all drive better trucks than me.
That's what I would
Nope.
do. I want to put my drivers in the
That was
better
my
truck.
mechanic calling me now.
There you go. There you
He
go.
just want to check on my. He just said, "Man, how the truck running?" Because he worked on my truck. He's like, "How the truck running?" I said, "My truck running fine, man."
Mm-hmm.
He didn't tell you to run away, sell it right away.
I'm gonna tell you what I did, man. I gave this guy $500, put him on retainer. Anytime I need him, he's like, "Bro, I come if it's raining 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm come fix your truck."
It's a good resource. That's it right there. That's what you need.
Yeah. So
Not like
And
having
that's
a
hard
good
to
wrench,
find
man.
anymore.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's really hard to find.
yeah.
I have a guy that I can do that with for like chassis work. He just
Mm-hmm.
doesn't do engines. He does everything but engine and after treatment. But like transmission, any kind of chassis stuff, he's right there for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I cannot find that kind of resource for engine stuff. So kind of piece it together.
Now like I told you, I do have a guy that you can talk to. Unfortunately, he's
Yes.
out in Pennsylvania. And please remind me to give you his number. And I actually want you to interview this guy live so other people can hear how this
Oh,
goes. And I'll
love to.
explain this to you. And man, you had this conversation. Like the reason why I had primarily all Mack truck, I think I had one Peterbilt. All the rest of my truck are all Macks. And the only reason why I bought Mack trucks because my resources, my guys knew about Mack trucks. I didn't give a
Yes.
damn whether it was a Mack. I don't care. It's a tool to me.
Right.
But I need to know somebody that knows how to work on this. And my guy taught me how to work on these trucks, man. You know? And I'm going to pass that guy on to you. He's retired now. This guy put motors in for me. He did it all. And he'll give you a little bit of that backstory. And I would love for you to interview him, man. And you can get you can pick his brain, man. He loves talking and stuff.
Yeah, I just had an idea since Joshua was in here, and congratulations on buying that second truck and making the move. So let's take this opportunity right here with Joshua, since the both of us are kind of in that position already, to try to put him in a position here to succeed. Some things you would want to offer. I want to offer a couple things to him, just advice or whoever I'm talking to right now. Maybe there's somebody watching that's in this position. First thing I'd suggest you do is, and you may already have it, find a good accountant you can lean on. Go to this accountant and say, listen, I'm taking this guy on. He's going to work for me. I don't know how you're paying him. That's your business, 1099 W-2, whatever. And say, what do I need to do to set up not only bookkeeping, but how do I pay this guy? Keep records on all that. What do I need to pay? If I'm W-2, how do I do withholding? What do I need to do? Set me up with some bookkeeping. You already got that mechanic thing nailed down. You give him some leeway with, the guy brings the truck in, if it's over this amount, $500, whatever, call me first. Surround yourself with some good people. Get a team on your side, would be the starting steps, I would say.
Already.
Excellent. Have you had this conversation with him?
I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna call him too. I'm gonna call him today because I want him to start doing my bookkeeping and keep up with my sheets and maintenance records and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I keep up with all my maintenance
Excellent.
records. What I'm saying for is like, all my back office stuff. I'm gonna hire him just gonna do that anyway. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're okay. Good. I'm very happy to hear. A lot of people wouldn't say, "Oh, I got a driver, I got a truck. What else do I need?" It sounds like you've put some thought into all that.
And a CPA that specializes in trucking.
Yeah.
right.
Because you got a lot of
He does.
CPAs
He
that
does.
specialize in other kind of business, right? Because the CPA that specializes in trucking, he knows the
Mhm.
ins and outs of trucking, man. He knows what to look for, man.
Well,
Absolutely.
yeah, he I'm gonna tell you one time, man, I grossed like 190 some thousand. Everybody want to talk about these big ass numbers and stuff like that, whatever. But I did one like 192 or some shit, and he had on like $10,000. I'm like, whoa, hold up a minute. You know what I'm saying? He was like, well, hold on, let me do some things. Man, I want to pay like $1,600. I grossed 190,000. But it wasn't. It was not a good thing to do that because I wrote off everything. Now I couldn't get approved for the mobile home that I wanted to buy because I wrote off everything.
And
So
we
I
had
told
those
them I ain't worried about it. I
conversations,
just tell them next year.
right, Josh?
Yeah, I just
We
tell them
had those
next year. Don't worry
conversations.
about it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's cool. I'd rather pay cash for it anyway. I'd rather not have a
Well,
note. Rather just keep striving, not have a note, and do it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's an important thing. So you made all this money and you only had a taxable income. You must only had a taxable income of maybe 6 or 7, maybe $10,000. That can be a
Yeah.
good thing, and that can be a bad thing. It depends on the reason. So it could be a bad thing because you didn't have any profit left. But okay, was it
Nope.
I didn't have any profit left because I didn't run my business right, or was it I didn't have profit left because we, in a managed fashion, took advantage of tax deductions? Maybe you went a bit too aggressive on the depreciation schedule, and maybe should have saved some for next year. But a guy's got to know the reason for that. Say, oh, this is awesome. I made all this money and didn't pay any taxes. Well, did you do it because you didn't make a friggin' profit, or did you do it because you had a good tax strategy? And it sounds like you
Right.
bothered to find out the reason for it, and that's a very good thing. So congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Appreciate that, man. But
Yeah.
these are things that you don't know in school. They don't teach you these things in high school and stuff like that. You gotta learn this on your
Because they don't want self-employed people. They want good widgets for big companies.
Mm.
That's what they want to produce. Good robots to work for companies.
But I tell you, this kind of platform is very good, man. You got this channel here. You got Great Freight. You got Call Me Cooley. He's in there, man. These guys are wealth of knowledge. I'm just so jealous right now that these guys are younger than me, man. I needed y'all 30 years ago, man.
Do it again, Dirty. Do it again. Come on.
We kind of working behind the scenes a little bit. We're not
Yeah.
as aggressive as I once was, only because I'm 50 years old, man.
Right.
I'm moving in a different direction, man. I'm moving in a different space because I'm not chasing money no more. You know what I'm chasing? The one thing that is going to get us all. I'm in a fight with Father Time, man. He's undefeated, bro. I'm not chasing money. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm chasing Father Time. By doing that, I'm trying to stay healthy, man. I'm trying to enjoy time with my wife, man. Time with my kids, time with my grandkids. That's what I'm after. That's what I'm chasing right now. I'm not chasing a Mercedes Benz. I'm not chasing $1 million home. I'm chasing time, man. And it's very elusive.
No, we're all gonna lose that one.
That's right. But I'm gonna go down fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think we're losing them again.
I feel like anything
there we
a
are.
man can do or a woman can do to better their situation or their business, I feel like it's worth it, man. You can your company. You know what I'm saying? Because you see 4-5 trucks making
Damn
all
cash
this
cell
money,
phones, man.
Come on, man.
Some of these guys
Come on.
Get
Get a cash phone, Josh. You need a cash phone, man. You need a cash phone, man.
He froze up on us.
You need a cash phone, bro. You can't come in here with a lease phone, man. You got to pay cash.
Oh, is he back? He's back. Is he back? Try it one more time. We'll try this again here. I think we got another guy here that wants to, the newer owner operator wants to click in here. If he shows up, we'll bring him on in.
Oh, that'd be cool, man.
Get
him in. A newer guy, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Cheapers now. Oh, there goes the neighborhood. Look at this.
Oh.
Who's this guy?
Oh,
there goes the great Freight Sage Logic. Hey, this is. I don't mean to rip you off, Dirty Broke, but this turned into the Truckers Lounge.
Hey, man, I love it, man. I love just conversations, man. Like, this is what I love, man. I love conversations, man. I love talking to these guys, all you guys. I talk to all you guys, man. You know?
And aren't they great conversations?
I love it, man. I love it. And every time we had these conversations on the phone, I was like, this needed to be on YouTube.
No, I do that all the time.
The best conversations are on the phone, man. No. I just want to pause the conversation. Like, wait a minute, let me start the YouTube up. You know what I'm saying?
And then it's like,
this on YouTube, man.
Hang on. Oh, what were we talking about? No.
Yeah, damn it, man. And then you try to go YouTube to recreate it, and it just ain't the same, man. It's like, damn.
I know. It's one of those. So, do we lose Josh already?
Yeah, he's all froze up. Froze up.
Bad boy.
Yeah, Josh. Josh. It's Raggedy, man.
I'm down.
Hold your arm up in the air or something.
Put your phone out the window, man.
Yeah, we need better antenna.
So what's going on in the world of the Sage Logic today?
Oh, that's same as what we talk about. It's an interesting world out there. Let's just say freight is an interesting world. I got some. Well, I did one video in regards to customers wanting to. It's fine too because I did a video in regards to freight, and freight's kind of turning into. Customers are basically saying, "When can your truck get there?" Because the freight they're going over budget. They're going over budgets, and they're now saying, "What do we need to do to maintain the budget?" And I'm like, "Well, you need to push back a week so I can bring my truck back." And they're like, "Done, make it happen." And I'm starting to see a lot more of that with customers because, like I said earlier, and it was the same thing. I posted a video today, a short video, that there was Freightways interview, and he said the exact same thing I said, like either the day before or 2 days before, that I posted loads on the load board for rates that people should have been jumping on them, and nobody even called me on them. Nobody even called me on because there were just no trucks in the area. There's just no trucks in the area. So it's pretty bad. It's pretty. There's a lot of capacity. Not a lot of capacity.
You'd be the one to ask, and I don't divulge any of the conversations we have off the air or anything. But would you agree with me? I know you kind of do that.
More. Go ahead.
Big money is trying to put a stop to this.
Yes. Yeah. There is. There are a lot of things that I see that.
And don't give away anything that's
right. That's
confidential.
That would get me in trouble.
Oh man, I need that, man. Call me later. Let me know.
Yeah. Okay. There's a lot of the large companies that are now making knee-jerk reactions in regards to the freight that they're handling and how it's being handled, and heads are starting to roll. Whatever those heads are, because people are now saying, okay, changes have to be made. And in my opinion, they're doing that so that they can say it's just like FedEx. FedEx dumped Home Depot and Lowe's and big companies like that, right? They dumped them just to come back and say, for them to flip out and come back and say, okay, we'll bring you back at half capacity. So at some point, when you start dumping companies like FedEx, when FedEx starts dumping Home Depots and Lowe's, and they feel that that's the answer to the problems they're having, well, there's also other stuff behind the walls that are going and happening in regards to the supply chain task force type stuff, that it's like at some point they're going to go there and they're going to say, okay, we've done our part. Now, what are you guys going to do? How are you guys going to help us? How are you going to bail us out? Maybe that's the word I should be using. Maybe that should kind of give somebody a hint. How are you going to bail us out
People
You know,
should be
it's not-
way more worried about this supply chain task force than they really are.
Yeah, I think they should be, because it's one of those things that you got to remember that freight is the bloodline of the country, right? Logistics is the bloodline of the country. So what starts to happen is when blood doesn't make it to your hand, you might have to cut your hand off. You're going to lose circulation in your hand, and your hand's going to die, right? Well, at some point, the bloodline starts someplace, the heart, and for us in this country, at least, it's China delivering stuff into the ports. And at that point, it flows down from there. But when people can't get their stuff, like restaurants can't get their goods, I'm going to do another video on this. When restaurants can't get their goods, they can only change their menu so long before people eventually just say, okay, I can't even create that menu. I can't get this food in. I can't get this in. I can't get that in. And then eventually they say, I don't. And I think the problem is too, is what I did the video is people they don't realize that it's like, well, maybe these multi-mega companies can just, instead of making billions, they can make millions. But the problem is that by doing that, you're eventually hurting the little companies, because the little companies can't afford the loss before they get bought out by the big company. And now that big company actually benefited from that without even people understanding that process. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Something I hate that I've preached about for years is, and people aren't going to like this, but if you think about it, you will.
Yeah, stop saying that, man. People are not going to like this.
They're not. I don't care.
Just say it.
Whoever the they is, that they teach us in school and young age, and especially young people. They teach us to hate rich people.
Correct.
Stop hating rich people. There's great rich people. There's crap bag of rich people too. It's because you're rich or you're poor, it doesn't determine if you're a crappy person or a good person. There's plenty of very rich, good people. Rich people give us jobs. This country does not work without rich people. Rich people hire. Everybody hates on Kraft or whatever, Pepsi. These evil corporations. Guess what? A lot of the freight you're hauling it for these. They're paying you to do this. Without these places, you got nothing, Jack. And you might work for them. You might have worked for them at some point in your life. Stop hating them. There's going to be scumbag people in every operation, in every corporation. It's not because they're rich. It's not because they're poor. And if they are, then if the money makes them that way, they won't last. It's they teach you to hate rich people for a reason. There's an agenda behind that. Always remember that. Okay, don't just hate people because they're rich. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox.
And my turn. And I think that the true understanding that is that if they're rich, don't you want to know how they got there?
Yeah, why not join them?
I mean, for me, it was, I would rather follow that person. To me, I played hockey, and we were always taught, don't be the big fish in a small pond, right? You got to get out into that bigger pond and be that to get better. So for me, and that's why I do a lot of the business model stuff, is that I want to know how they got that. When did they decide it was the right time to do that? How they got there, and what did they do? And to me, it's almost like, okay, this person's rich, but I want to know somebody. If I'm working if I'm flipping burgers at a McDonald's, and I walk in there, I get minimum wage, right? Well, there's somebody that's ahead of me that makes more money, and that's got to be that manager. Well, what did he do to get in that manager position, and how can I get in that manager position? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? At some point, I want his job, or her job, either one. So I'm going to do what I need to do to learn her job, so that, hey, I might then pass her, and she might be working for me. If I plan this right, this is my goal. And I think we just, at some point, it's kind of a broken disconnect in regards to, hey, you're supposed to start at the bottom so you can figure out what you need to do to make more money, not just so we can just leave you there. And when people don't understand that it's that company driver position allows you to either decide if you want to stay there or learn what you need to do to move up in it.
And you're trying to convince people that they can start at the top.
Correct. And
it doesn't do them any good.
Right, and it's that mentality that doesn't allow you to learn what you actually need to actually get to the top.
It just teaches you to blame. Because you don't have what you want, it's somebody else's fault.
Correct.
It's not always the case. I got some breaking news. How about this? For everybody that hung in this long, just got an email says Amazon could be forced to sell its valuable logistics services division, the network of warehouses and delivery hubs that power quick delivery of online orders, under antitrust legislation proposed by a congresswoman from Amazon's hometown of Seattle. It says Washington Democrat Pramila Jayapala has proposed a bill with bipartisan support that would prevent Amazon from luring sellers to use its logistics services in exchange for preferential treatment on its busy web store. Nearly 85% of Amazon's biggest sellers use its Fulfillment by Amazon service, paying the online retailer fees for warehouse storage, packing, and shipping of its products, according to a report. Wow. Amazon might be broken up. They're trying to break up Amazon under antitrust legislation. It's about time.
Who posted the article? If you don't mind me asking.
My wife just emailed that to me from.
Does it say?
Jeepers! Now we got all the celebrities in here.
Call me Cooley. Hold on.
Oh, I know I'm in the right. I know I'm in the right room now with all this money. Damn it!
Checking in. What's going on? What's going on?
I know I'm in the right room now. Damn it! Shit.
The leaders of industry all in the same spot.
I know I'm in the right room. Damn
If
it.
anybody's gonna blame rich people, we're all in trouble. No, just kidding.
No, what's going on? What's going on? I just chimed in.
Good to see you. Nice to meet you. We've never met before. I'm glad to.
Yeah.
Oh,
make
you
your
never met?
acquaintance.
You never met?
we've
Cool?
never met.
Oh,
No.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Damn it.
First time. I've been seeing him around though.
He's one there here. I met Cooley a while ago, and I reached out to him for his YouTube page. And he probably thought I was nuts, and then we ended up started talking, and he realized that yes, I am nuts, but way. So Cooley was one that you have your carrier and your brokerage also, and when you started that, one of your first steps was going back and just reaching out to everybody you picked up and delivered to. Correct? You just started getting on that phone and working that phone, right?
Right. Yeah.
And you just hammered each one of them and said, "Hey, do you remember me? Hey, do you remember me?" Pretty much.
Yeah, previous BOLs. Yeah, I just called them up. Just kept calling them. I still got a stack left, And then I got my drivers. They going to new places. They send me BOL, so I got some more customers to contact.
Well, let's say why don't we go ahead and say allegedly, because we don't want you to get in trouble for back soliciting for many brokers. We're just going to say allegedly.
Yeah, you can call it like that. Call it like that,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's how I got.
Hell yeah.
Got a few, it's different ways of getting customers, whether it's through the Facebook groups. I got actually contacted a customer through LinkedIn. LinkedIn's another one you can use to get customers. It's a few different ways to get customers. You just got to be active. You got to be real active.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cold calling, a lot of cold emailing. Sometimes I have pulled up to a customer, gave them my business card, did it like that, you just got to be aggressive with it. If you want it, you got to go get it,
That's right.
Hell yeah.
And the main reason you did it, and we were just speaking with, is because you saw, you weren't like, I hate these rich people. You were like, no, I want to do that. I want to know where that money's coming from and how much money, so I can get it, because that's what we talked about, correct?
Right, correct.
So you were basically just saying, okay, I know there's money on the other side of this load. I want to know how much, and I want to be that guy. And he basically just drove forward and said, I'm going to open up my brokerage. Actually, you started as a local driver.
As a company driver, when I first got my CDL, I went straight to local, with Coca-Cola and, food service. And I did that for a while. And then I was like, you know what, I want to, do my own thing. So I had to get some experience over the road, which I think I went to JB Hunt for about a couple months. And then I got my first truck. Well, it was a lease purchase deal. Didn't work out. Then I did a lease. It was cool, and then I got my first truck and started, building like that, trying to get experience, get a little bit of knowledge of the business side of trucking, because I already knew how to drive a truck, but it was more, a side of the business side of actually
learning the business side,
learning commodities, talking the broker lingo, stuff of that nature. There's a lot of things you had to learn, little stuff. The little stuff matter, that's
right.
How you get to the next level, and then once you start getting all that, you got your carrier side set in stone. You're making money. You understand the business side. Now it's time to open up the brokerage. Now we got to see how much money is really coming out of here. Once you start seeing how much money you can get from the customer, you're like, wow. So I've been, you think you're getting money on the carrier side, but then
and you was leaving a lot on the table, huh, Cooley?
Yeah. So you start seeing the real money, and then you're able to, now I got my fleet or whatever. You can start paying your drivers top dollar. You broke out the rest of the money to other carriers, but it's not like I'm getting over, but you still giving other carriers good money, to run these loads for you, versus a random broker or one of the bigger brokers, they're giving you these lanes for X amount of dollars, and you're going on high mileage. Versus me as a small brokerage, I can give you, good money. I'm not trying to kill you, and you're making money. I'm making money. Everybody's happy, And
you're building a relationship with them. Probably they're going to use you again.
Correct. So
I don't get that.
That's all we're doing right now. Just trying to get more information on it. We still learn. I still learn every day. And just continue on doing what I'm doing.
Would you say that you would use the term for some of them as a preferred carrier?
Would I use as a preferred carrier?
Yeah. What would you call some of them? A preferred carrier over other ones. Eric talks about becoming a preferred carrier. And
yeah, I mean, you can use the term preferred carrier. Somebody that you pretty much you used before. Then you got some random ones. You kind of like, it's always still got to build that carrier base.
Right.
Sometimes your main carrier is not going to always.
You're going to be able to do it. Yeah.
So we still gotta figure out some of the other carriers, see how they run. And I do a lot of outbound freight out of Virginia, so I try to keep it like that. I stick to what I know, and then try to build my base off of that. I started reaching out to other carriers outside of the state, especially with different customers in different states. I started, branching out a little bit. Try to figure out the lanes a little bit more, stick to what I know a little bit, because I still ran the East Coast. But once I started being, home every day, I started just working on Virginia only, because that's what my drivers do. So I started building the base for my my drivers pretty much, and make sure they get what they want. Most of them want to be home every day. So okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to attack the home every day thing. And then I worry about everything after that. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I'm going with it, because owner operators want to be home. Most of the owner operators want to be home every day. You can, a lot of you guys on here, probably in the chat, can vouch that.
Right.
A lot of owner operators want to be home every day, or at least be home more often.
More, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You don't have to be taking home every day, but at least home every weekend, or maybe a couple of days out the week. Something like that, and if you can fix that problem, you're winning.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. Your carrier look a lot more attractive when you can get a guy home more often and make decent money than a carrier who can't. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And that's what I talked about earlier when I was like, being able to give your driver something, that's the competition right there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So now they got to step up to where Cooley at, because he getting his guys home every day. You see what I'm saying? So it's that's going to be constant, man. You know what I mean? If you want to stay viable, you know what I'm saying?
And yet he's another one that still jumps in that truck. As soon as that good load pops up, he's like, "Oh man, I shouldn't be okay, I'll go get it."
Yeah, we might have to make a connection, Cooley, because I got trucks down there in that Virginia area all the time, every week. So
I'll drop my number in the private, and you can contact me.
Okay.
We can talk.
I can text it to him. I can text it to him if you want.
Yeah, I'll get it from Eric that way.
Oh, yeah, okay. we all got everybody's number here, so yeah, we could get you in there.
Yeah. But that's the goal. What I'm doing. That's what I feel that works for me. Sticking to what I know. I don't like to do things I don't know, and there's nothing wrong with doing things I don't know. But let's focus on what I already know, and then we can move forward. One thing one step at a time. I don't like to be all over the place. One thing at a time. It'll all come together. So as far as me hopping the trunk, sometimes I got to stretch my legs. I can't sit. I'm still a trunker. I can't sit behind the desk all the time.
Yeah,
I'm fighting that same battle.
Once a trucker, always a trucker.
Yeah, so you got to stretch your legs sometimes. I might go out, do 100 miles. Like I did it the other day. I did Richmond to Roanoke. It was like 150 miles, and I came right back to the house. the day before.
Because it's like this.
Morning.
The more you stay out of the truck and you get back in the truck, then you just trying to get back home real quick. You know what I mean? Like you find yourself not needing to be in the truck as much. The
You
longer
can enjoy
you
it
stay
more.
out of the truck. Exactly.
Is that real that my truck is still there? I don't even have I still got the bed in there, but I don't have no pillows or nothing like that.
Yeah, exactly. Because
So
you know you're not gonna be long. You're like, nah, man, I'm gonna do this. I'm going right back to the house.
Yeah. So that's all it is. I'll do it.
And it's got to be the right price to stretch those legs. It can't be the wrong price. Those legs ain't getting stretched either nowadays.
And you're become more valuable to your company outside of the truck.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can even do right by your people.
Absolutely, man.
Right.
You can get a lot more done because when you're running the truck, you're basically just going to run that load. When you're at home, now you can do the multiple loads. Especially with your carrier, your brokerage, and stuff like that.
I got the people in place now where I don't have to. I bring my computer just in case. I always bring my computer, but I have a dispatcher in place.
Nice.
She's trained up. She's ready to go. She knows everything. I got my accounting department straight as far as people doing my paperwork and all my factoring. They're trained up, ready to go. So I have a little bit more time now.
Now that's the time to venture out into something that you don't know about, but you want to do. It's like, now I want to get into this now that I got that free time. Let me learn this over here.
Right. And then, trailer.
Absolutely.
I get yesterday I did my trailer. I had to put a new battery in there. I put a new battery in the reefer. I took a trailer to get some pins on. I had to take my trailer to a utility. I got a trailer that's leaking air out the back. I wanted to get some pins on it, whether if I wanted to keep it or trade up or whatever the case was. I wanted to get some options. So I got time to, figure out some things I want to do as far as my equipment. As far as my truck, keep the truck running. I don't want it just sitting. That's when you start having problems, when you have it just sitting for a long period of time. So I do want to keep my truck running, whether it's twice, 3 times a month or something like that, just to stretch my legs, get it going, figure out other lanes, it's always better to be a trucker, in my opinion, to be an actual trucker and to run a fleet, because I was a trucker. And so I understand where my drivers come from,
Right.
Versus, not to say there's nothing wrong with it, versus a guy just buying a whole bunch of equipment and running a fleet. It never drove a truck before, it's better
because it's hard to relate. Yeah, it's hard to relate if you've never done it.
It's hard to relate. And with me dealing with owner operators, I can relate because I was out there. I was doing it. The days and nights, weeks out of time, I did it all already. Local driving, did it, LTL, whatever. I did it all already. So I can relate to a lot of my drivers. I do checkups on them. I call them every Sunday, like, hey, how's everything going? Everything good? Anything I can change? Anything I can improve? I do stuff like that. Yeah, that counts. That means a lot to a lot of people. That you're checking on the drivers, make sure they're all right mentally, and a lot of guys go through a lot of mental, personal stuff, they won't tell you about, but for me,
that can affect your business. Yeah.
It means a lot for me to, to check on them, make sure they're all right, make sure things are good, So I do that. I put that in my business. I call every Sunday, text them, everything good, give me a thumbs up, things I can change, let me know. Maybe I can figure it out, how to work it out, and we'll do that, So it's all about, you're running the business, but you got to figure out what else can you do to make the business keep going and keep the drivers happy, because one thing we don't want to do is lose drivers.
I got breaking news. It's my turn. President Biden and his bipartisan group of senators agree on a spending plan to rebuild America's infrastructure. Now it has to pass Congress. Biden announces a bipartisan deal on the infrastructure. The infrastructure bill has to go to Congress now.
Okay.
That's got the speed limiters and everything in it, doesn't it?
Yep. And I've been calling that somewhere around 4th of July, this bill was going to come through. Somewhere around 4th of July as a pillar to keep the economy up. So I'm telling you, we will see. We'll see if I'm right. No, I'm not humble. Sorry.
You're wrong.
Oh, the infrastructure bill.
So, Cooley, let me ask you. There's a whole school of thought on YouTube or wherever it comes from, that if you have owner operators leased onto you, that they should do everything for themselves. They should stand on their own 2 feet, that you shouldn't help them and babysit them and solve problems for them. I kind of figure I already know what your thought is on it. What do you think of all that? I tend to disagree that if you're looking to build a legit business and a legit carrier, that you work together on things.
Because the thing is, I don't consider them as my drivers. I consider them partners.
Right,
Because
right.
especially, yeah, I put in a lot of jewels for them. Like, hey, make sure you're doing this, putting away money for your maintenance. Because one thing I don't want y'all to be doing is out here making all this money, and then, of course, the rates will go down eventually, and y'all don't have money for maintenance. But I give them pep talks. I don't, I let them do their thing. I don't ride them the whole time, but I make sure that they're doing the right things, because like I said, I don't want them to fail because they're still running the business themselves.
Right. So, you're setting them up to be successful. You're not saying,
I always
figure it out.
Yeah, because eventually they're going to want to, some of them going to want to get their own authority. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And they want me to help them to get their authority. That's cool. I'm not going to shoot them down. I don't want them to stick with me forever. I'm not going to shoot them down to take it to the next level. If you want to get your authority, that's cool. Let's see what we can do to help you get your authority. Some of them want to be, do what I'm doing. But some
and
of
you
them
can
don't.
you can still do business with them. You know what I mean? Like, you can still do business with people. Like, they don't have to be under your thumb. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can still make money together, man.
I think this is the important factor. This is a huge deal, because what happened, like Cooley does and DIY and stuff, is that even with that brokerage, now if that guy goes and gets his own authority, you can still feed him freight. You still can work with the same guy.
Bingo.
We can still work together.
Right. And it's taking those guys in and making and building on top of those guys. Just like you said earlier, the reason you went out and got freight going after the stuff that your drivers wanted to do. And that allowed you to sell your drivers to your customers. Right. So you went out and okay, I got to find some local guys. And then at that time you found, okay, now I got to find some local customers because my guys want to be local. Fine, let me go find them. And then you found that customer and you sold your drivers, their services, what they wanted, to that customer. And you picked the customer that would work within that. So to just let them do whatever they want and not have any connection with them, what do you have to sell? Because you're selling when I hire people, I'm hiring someone that I can sell their services to help me grow. That's the truth. And I'm going to sell their strengths, their ability to drive. So I better find, what does that guy want to do? Well, he wants to do regional. Okay, now I have an opportunity to go out and get a regional customer. This guy wants over the road. Let me see if I can find a customer that just wants to run over the road. I got local guys. Let me see if I can find a local customer. You now have a direction to travel. Rather than just, I'm going to put all guys together, and you're just, there's no direction to travel. There's no services to truly sell, which makes selling easier, because now all you have to do is solve somebody's problem. They need local drivers. I got local drivers. And that's basic. And you can still work with them with the brokerage. And that business continues to grow because you're still trying to bring in somebody who has skills and then find a customer that could use that person's local skills or over the road skills or regional skills, whatever they want to do. And that's a big problem. Cooley, when I met Cooley and I watched some of his videos, I reached out to him right away because I knew he knew it. He understood it. And he was just at a point that he just needed a little guidance with that brokerage, because of course, people go out and they get the brokerage, and you should be calling carriers before you call customers. Because the next thing you know, because carriers don't want to work with a newer brokerage, but we fixed that problem. Now he's got everybody that wants to work with him. So now he's going to be booming. And there's not a lot of that mindset is not something that is, I guess, natural or understood. And when you have it, you grow. And when you don't, you kind of sputter, not knowing where to go.
Or you can learn it. I mean, if you're open to learn it, there's all kinds of people, yourself, all kinds of trying to teach that. So, it's all out there for you.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of it's right here. A lot of it's right here in this damn room.
Yeah. the information's out. The information's out there. You just got to, like I said, you just got to take it. And then a lot of other self-education. Just putting everything together with your business model. Everybody got different business models. So, like the route I took was just totally different from what everybody did. Like LaShawn Parks, he does it a different way. Who else? Calvin Lee, he's another one. He does it a different way. Okay? There's other people that do it different ways. There's no certain way to do it. It's just which way is going to work for you. I was owner operator way. Lee went the company driver way. Parks went through. He went through the lease truck way. And he's doing very well over there. What he's doing. So it's just different ways you want to do it. And whatever makes sense to you. So
absolutely,
information's out there. You take it, ask questions.
And the route you might go might be you might find somebody that you're actually going to go their route because that's their skill. You know what I mean? You might say, okay, I wasn't expecting to go this route, but this person's a very good, let's say, agent, salesperson. I'm going to go this route because I've just found somebody who has something that I can now, focus on, and I'm going to guide my business in that direction. And that's when you start to pick up people that the actual people you hire start to help you go in different directions because of their skills and that they can get for you.
Yeah. And I think one thing that probably all of the four of us have in common, we all come from different backgrounds, but we all realize that what we don't know, like,
correct,
and say, okay, I know I don't know this, so I'm going to go to a Sage Logic or Call Me Cooley or Dirty Broke, and I'm going to learn it from them because I know that they know this. Whereas none of us are too proud to know that we don't know something.
I have Freight Connect. I'm constantly calling Paul from Freight Connect. I'm on the phone. Paul, hey Paul, so he's absolutely taught me a whole nother side of, because that I wasn't privy to, that I'm quickly learning, but I needed him to open my eyes to that. And
just when you think
I'm in.
Just when you think you're a smart guy, or you kind of got things figured out, or you think you know what you're talking about, somebody like Paul comes around and you're like,
drop something. Yeah.
I'm like,
oh, geez, now I got all this to learn, and I'm like, thank God. How I met him is he called me about 2 years ago. He cold called me and told me about his service, and I'm like, now just isn't the right time. I figure it's salesman spam or whatever. I'm just get this guy off the phone, and we ended it. I know. I didn't know what I had. And then he called me back a year later, and I had.
Did Sage pay you for that?
Well, right now it's in the
attorney. Struck a nerve. It's in litigation at the moment.
Just plucked him out of there.
We got cease and desist orders regarding conversations about this.
Let me try to get my hands on him a little bit, man.
Do it. Yeah. And then he called me back a year later, after I'd started doing YouTube, and he told me what his spiel was, and I'm like, thinking nothing of what he could do for me. I'm like, let me get this guy on my YouTube channel. And then we talked. We started having conversations for about a month before I brought him on, and I'm like, wait a minute, I get it now. Like, and he went out. He says, well, let me put you through the system here. Let me put you through this. So we talked. He showed me the demo and all that, and I'm like, okay, I got 2 places I want you to go get for me. I gave him the phone. All I did was give him the phone numbers. 3 days later, he calls me back. He's like, okay, this person's ready to talk to you. This person I'm still emailing. Put it all together. He's like, okay, it's time for you to make the phone call. I made the phone call. He laid all the groundwork, and they're like, yeah, just okay, give me your information, send me your stuff, and here's loads. I'm like, wow, it can't be like that. Man. So I'm like, I was excited to bring him. I'm like, everybody's got to know about this. Everybody, like, you have to know about this.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
So,
and then it was his fault. He brought me on with him. I don't know what it was.
I hear you, man.
And here, he knows how I am. I'm already, the type that's pretty aggressive when it comes to, attacking sales. And I'm like, hang on a second.
You got to be aggressive, man. You got to be aggressive. And
we all benefit from it.
Talk to people. Talk to people. Build, because you never know, man. I listen to everybody, man. Everybody. I don't care how much money you have or don't have. I'm listening.
Right.
And I don't know if people think, Eric, like, we make no money off of Paul. Like, he doesn't pay us. He doesn't.
Nope.
Like, it's not a sponsorship. It's just like the best kept secret, and people got to know about it. It's like, why is this a secret? Like, everybody's got to know about this.
I absolutely, I consider him a partner. He pays me nothing. I get nothing.
Yeah, me neither.
Nothing for it. It's absolutely nothing. I have
he's
him on my YouTube channel. He's absolutely, and I don't get.
Yeah, he's done some stuff. I do appreciate that, but I like to think that we help him out too. I got a brand new owner operator here that wants to come in, so we can tell him that he's doing everything wrong, and tell him that he doesn't know anything. So here he is, Fate Trucking. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's good with it?
Well, let's see.
Oh, there he is, gone.
We had him.
God, he doesn't have time to talk. He's a brand new operator for you, so he's
got to make that truck payment.
Well, one of the first things you got to do is get a good sale, man.
That's right. Him and Josh are probably hanging out.
Yeah, you got to take care of that right there. You got to get that Verizon. Oh, no, let me not. Verizon didn't cut the check yet, so we're gonna hold off.
I know. But that's the other thing too. Perfect example. I know drivers. It's tough to find drivers. I think somewhere in here, Peaches was saying that somebody couldn't read a scale ticket.
Yeah, I meant to read that. I skipped over that.
And I mean,
that is so common, man.
He's definitely
so common.
That's starting to be a new thing. People don't know how to.
Right, there it is. DIY.
Says, what do you want for driver qualifications? Because my boss is a driver who didn't know how to read a scale ticket. Okay, so well, let me talk a little bit about that. Appearances can be deceiving. You can hire somebody with years of experience and they talk a good game, and then you can find out that they don't know a damn thing. No, I can't talk about none of that. I have an agreement with my drivers. I don't talk about them. They don't talk about me. So,
well,
none of my current drivers I have a problem with as far as that, but there had been some issues before. Let's try this guy again. New owner operator wants to throw his weight around. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Can you guys hear me okay?
There you go.
Yep.
Perfect. It's been a little bit of a hassle trying to find internet connection in this hotel.
So you're the guy with health insurance information for owner operators and self-employed people.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, correct.
Go get your pen and pad, people.
Yeah. A lot of people. There's 40 people in here right now. I'm guessing better than half of them are owner operators or self-employed. So how'd you go about this? How'd you get this done?
Okay, well, there was a few avenues that I took. When I decided I was going to quit my job, I checked into the Cobra insurance that my company offered, and it was like $1,300 a month to cover me and my 2 daughters. That was just a number that I didn't want to work with. So then I reached out to a broker, an insurance broker, that found me a really cheap rate in health insurance. The problem was it didn't offer like all the care that I needed for my 2 daughters, like mental health or substance abuse. Those are things that I really had to think about with like teenage kids. That insurance didn't cover any of that. So then what I did is I went to my county. My county said I qualified for like state insurance because I had a life-changing event, quitting my job, becoming self-employed. Well, I didn't feel comfortable getting free healthcare. So what I did was I just started going on the internet, and I found the company Health Partners is who I ended up choosing. And it's the exact same plan that the company I work for offered me. And I pay $20 more a month than I did when I was a company driver. I think I paid $575 a month as a company driver for the healthcare, and I pay $595 a month now for me and my 3 daughters, or my 2 daughters.
And how long? What was the process in regards to getting that? Did you still use? Did you have to take a physical? What was that getting set up?
Honestly, it was because it was the same insurance company that I was already insured through. They just kind of rolled all my information over into this new plan. And the thing was, when I went on their website, I live in the Twin Cities in Minnesota. So there's clinics right around within like 15-mile radiuses that they suggest that I use those clinics because they work with those clinics to get like reduced rates. I don't have to use those exclusively, but if I do, the insurance pays less to these doctors, I guess. So no, I didn't have to do any physical. I just had to fill out my paperwork again and give them, birth dates and social security numbers, and that was it.
So then the partners group that you're with, they just happen to also be hooked up with them, or did you tell them who they were with before and they tracked them down? How did that process work?
No, so when I called to set up this insurance, what I did is I went online, researched the plan, figured out how much my deductible was, figured out all that. And I was like, hey, this is going to work for me and my daughters. So then I called like their sales representative, and I was already in their system because I had insurance through them already.
Okay. So they were just connected with them. Gotcha.
Yeah. But when I started reading the plan, I pulled out my company plan, and it was tat for tat, all the same things,
Identical.
everything checked. Wow. And it was $20 more. And honestly, I mean, DIY helped me through this process. He kind of knows my backstory a little bit. I wanted to do this for 3 years. And the one thing that kept stopping me was this health insurance. Everybody I talked to said, oh, you're going to pay $2,000 a month in healthcare and yada, yada, yada. And it stopped me from taking this step into becoming an owner operator, which I wish I would have done and not listened to the people that scared me. Because it's.
Is this on the healthcare exchange or is it separate from that?
It's separate from that.
Wow. Is it?
I mean, anybody can go out. All you have to do, it's no different than looking for a truck. I mean, you got guys in this live right now that every day are on truck paper or something, looking at trucks. They're asking you questions about trucks.
On YouTube, watching videos and all this other stuff when you could be getting some good information, man.
All you have to do, it is on the private exchange. I guess I should contradict what I just said. It is on the private, but it's all you have to do is research it, find out what you want for health insurance, and go out and get it. And it's not that expensive. I mean, at least for me, it wasn't that expensive. I can't speak for everybody.
You did the same thing I did when I got my health insurance. I took it from a company where I kept this. I got the same health insurance when I was leased on to a carrier, and I kept the same one. And then when I became an owner operator, they charged me a couple more bucks extra, and it was just pretty much a done deal. Yeah, I pretty much did the same thing.
Well, you taught me something. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know guys that are paying like $1,900 a month for them and their wife, and I'm just like, oh.
And how is it for your vision and your dental?
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up because my daughters wear glasses, and obviously that they need dental work, they need braces and stuff like that. So that's a great thing. The one thing
dental is health, vision is health, people. Okay,
right? It's all bundled together. And now,
nice.
Because they have to, because they're minors. Now, like for me, my dental insurance, I think when I added me on is like $15 a month. And it doesn't cover much. It covers, your cleaning, your routine maintenance on your mouth and stuff like that. But
which is major. Which is major because when you do that, you stay up on that, you don't develop the problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I'm saying? That's maintenance. Like you do in your truck. You don't change your oil, what's gonna happen?
Right.
So keep your teeth clean.
But no, like normal checkups are all covered. I mean, most insurances should cover that 100%. Like you don't even pay, like if you have a coin insurance, but you go in for like a physical, your insurance company should cover that 100% because it's like routine maintenance on your truck. You're keeping yourself healthy. So Absolutely. They cover all that. Like you get free eye care, not free. Your examinations are free. If you go in, like I have daughters that play sports. So their physicals every year that they need to play their sports, they're covered 100%. I don't pay out of pocket for that. Now, just like all the other insurances that are out there, like I chose to go with an 80-20 plan, right? That's what made sense to me. But my out of pocket for a family is $7,000 a year. That's the most I can spend before it kicks in 100%. But there's so much, like we don't go to the doctor. We go to the doctor for normal checkups. Those are all covered. You know what I mean? So,
and that's pretty damn cheap, man, for you, your two daughters. If you're an owner operator, man, $7,000 to cover that, man. Like, come on, man.
Well, it's no different than you were just talking about that $10,000 challenge earlier.
That's it.
you're already helping somebody out. Bobby Ray here wants to know the name. He says, "What's the name of that health insurance again? Should you say that again?"
I have health partners.
Health Partners,
You know-
Bobby Ray.
Let me try to track it down. Keep going.
Track it down.
Yeah, maybe somebody can drop a link to it in the chat.
Yeah, and then drop that link, Sage. That'd be great, man. If you track them down, drop that link.
It's going to ask you when you go on their website, it's going to ask you like where you live and stuff like that. And they'll find you like if that insurance company provides like clinics in your area. I don't know if I'm making sense, but that's
No, you're making perfect sense, man. Yeah.
Do you remember the logo? Is it a green, purple, and blue little triangle things?
You know what? Hold on. I'm sure I got the health card in my wallet.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Cover your
I
name
got
up.
it.
Cover your name.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
There
I
you
got
go.
it. I got it. I'll post it.
Well, there you go, guys. That's worth the price of admission right there.
And that's how awesome is that right there, bro? Like, come
We
on.
should get together and do a separate video
Hell
about
yeah.
this. You know, we're way into the video here in a couple hours. Some people didn't hang around, but
Hey,
Well, I'll
people
come more
definitely need to
prepared.
know that.
You
I
can
have
download
all
it
my paperwork.
and cut it.
Yeah, definitely. We'll get maybe contact them and see if they even
that would be
want to be a part of
even
it or
better.
something.
I can do that.
If you can get a rep from them to come on and talk to our community about it, because if we're being honest, most owner operators don't have health insurance, man.
It's badly needed.
And a lot of it
in
is
this
because
industry.
they just don't think they can afford it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, all we hear is the bad stories. We never hear the good ones.
There you go, bro.
Yeah.
It is, man. It's real stuff, man. It's stuff that's going to keep you alive, man. You know.
I'm on
And also,
protocol.
I've been threatening for a while. They need to do a video about HSAs. That's another
There you go.
great
Yeah.
program for people to get you an HSA if you're
Yeah.
eligible for one.
And don't just have the insurance. Use it. Go get your yearly annual checkups, man. Get your blood work done so you know where you're at, man.
Go get your
You
finger
know,
in the
that's
butt.
like, that's
what
like
they're
getting an
saying.
oil sample on your truck. You're gonna get an oil sample before you buy a truck, right? You'll do that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you ain't gotta pay a doctor to
Can
put
I-
that finger in your butt, dirty.
Hey,
I'm sure
man,
you can.
hey, man.
Can
I
I-
tell you, go do it. It saves lives.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because I think people should hear this. Now I've been in this only for 6 months, right? I bought my truck 6 months ago. I almost have it paid off. I believe I've done the right things. I haven't gotten anything flashy. I haven't new cars. All the money I've made, I became used to it in the sense of comfortable with the money that was in my account, but I've put it in places that make sense, back into my business, doing stuff to my truck that I might not necessarily need to do. But anyways, I want to say this. Don't let people stop you from doing this. Like, they are going to scare the crap out of you. They're going to tell you all the negatives. And yes, there are negatives. I've broken down twice in 2 days based on work that was done at shops, where I've had to have roadside assistants come out and fix the stuff that was done at a shop. But I have the money to take care of it. That $10,000 challenge that you guys talk about is absolutely what you need to do. And you should actually take it a step further than that.
And let's do
But
it.
but don't let the naysayers scare you from doing this, because you'll develop the business savvy to keep you afloat if rates plummet. I mean, they're gonna go down, but you're gonna be okay because you've done it the right way. You haven't bought a new Escalade. You haven't, you know what I mean? Don't let the people scare you away from this, because everything that people told me that scared me from doing this, it's not that scary. I mean, at least for me, it's not. And maybe I'm not too naive still, but it's not that scary.
You know, it sounds like you're willing to learn and do all the right things.
Hell
You know,
yeah,
it's-
man.
Find yourself a mentor, for real.
Hell
Find
yeah.
somebody that, people like you on YouTube that are willing
Well-
to help people is huge.
You know, I always say when you find a mentor, pay him thousands of dollars a month. That's what I like to say.
You did
I'm-
right. Hey, at least Cash App. What's your Cash App, Adam?
Oh, DIY semi. What's yours?
$, Dirty Broke 215. We're gonna
There you
send you.
go.
We're gonna send you something right now. Man.
Where's my
shit, man?
I don't have a banner on this one. What is going on? Just kidding.
Oh, you don't have it in your name. You just got you used to have it. Put your Cash App.
I don't even know. It's too long.
Right, man.
I keep everything too long.
I sent you a Cash App one
That's
day.
good
It's probably
stuff.
You
a
did.
good one.
This is good stuff, man.
Yeah,
and
Red Diesel, thank you.
this guy's been in business. How long? You said 6 months?
6 months.
6 months, owner operator, and he has health insurance, man. If
Yeah.
he can do it, you mean tell me guys that been in it for years can't do it? Can't get it figured out? Come on,
Yeah.
man.
We
we
just
doing,
a
man?
sneak peek. Me and him have talked, or he and I have
I,
talked a little bit.
I know you.
off,
I know you back there sandbagging.
and he's killing it. He's
That's
killing
what's
it.
up,
He's
man.
after 6 months of being an owner operator, he's at the level you would expect somebody to be after maybe 4 or 5 years.
What type,
Honestly,
It's right there, man.
what type of trailers you got? What type of trailer?
Are you talking to me?
Yep.
Yeah.
I run reefer trailers.
Oh,
I'm leased onto a company.
yeah. See, there's. I know a guy that does 3. You know, if you ever head to Virginia,
I know a guy that knows a guy, man.
You can buy Cooley's freight. He's putting that load on you because he's got that brokerage.
I know a guy that knows a guy. Like look to this side and look up and look over.
Reefer, that's the way to go.
It is. It's not always the easiest, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it works perfect for the way I want to operate my business. I'm running reefer freight.
yeah. I mean, if
let
you
me-
put the
and let
work
me-
in,
And let me ask you a question. You got any kind of retirement set up for yourself?
It's funny you
work
bring
on
that up.
yet?
It's almost like this is planned. No, but it's not really. Good.
I'm absolutely in the process of doing that right now, just because I don't want to. I'm dealing with more money than I've ever dealt with in my life. I'll be honest with everybody. Yeah, allegedly.
in case the IRS
And
is watching.
I gotta find ways to. The reason I did this was it was a dream of mine to own a truck and go over the road, and I have a loving wife at home that allows me to do that. 2, I want a better future. I was getting nowhere as a company driver for 20 years. I could never get above here. Well, now I'm up here, and I got to figure out how to stay there. You know what I mean? Like
Rich people problems. Doggone rich people.
Rich
Damn
people.
it, man.
yeah, I want to be rich. Rich is relative. Being rich is relative. I just got. This is probably not the right time to say this. I just got back from a 2-week vacation. I've never taken my family on a family vacation before, and I took 2 weeks off in probably the best freight market I'll ever be in.
That's rich right there, bro. That's rich.
That's how
You
you
can
do it.
stuff like that, spending time, taking vacation, wife, kids. That's rich, bro.
You know,
That's where it's at, bro.
And you didn't have to worry about a $1,500 a week truck payment while you're gone.
No, but like I said, I've taken my money, especially with my truck. I'm gonna have a truck paid off in probably 7-8 months.
So-
I think that's amazing.
So I happen to know you didn't really go the typical lease onto a big company and do that kind of lease purchase. You did buy your truck from the carrier you work for. How much is your truck payment, if you don't mind me asking?
$935 a month.
A month? You said a month, not a week, right?
A month, $935 a month.
So you're telling people out here that are paying $1,300,
Come on,
$1,500 a week
Adam, you're sandbagging, man. Come on, knock it off, man.
Might as well.
that you can get a truck for a reasonable price. Like there is
So-
deals out there.
Yeah, and so here's the deal. I was able to purchase my own truck. I saved money for 3 years and plotted and planned to get to where I am today. I did it. I planned it for 3 years. And I happened to meet the carrier I work for who gave me a better deal than the dealership did. And I chose to go that way. And yeah, there's no hidden fees in anything with my truck payment or, things like that. It's $935 a month. And that's what I pay.
So it does exist.
It does exist. And there's people that care. I mean, there are people out there that don't take advantage of you, that don't nickel and dime you.
Okay. All right. Well, you're gonna have to, spread the word. It takes a lot of convincing. Now, I know from some conversations we've had here and there that you've run into guys in truck stops that are paying just horrific truck payments, and you'll show them your pay stub and like, look, this is all that's coming out of my check, and you can't convince them that that's real, or like they're bringing home 14. One guy told you he brings home about $1,400 a week, and you're like, this is my last paycheck. It was $7,000 after deductions, but you can't convince them. It's like the I don't want to call it, I don't know if it's brainwashing or like Stockholm syndrome is so strong that you can't believe it's real.
They're shorting themselves. They're the ones that want it so bad, but they're fearful to take the next step. They're so comfortable because the people that are controlling them like puppets have convinced them that if they step out of that lease purchase deal, that they're going to fail. They're failing in the lease purchase deal. They're failing in the deal that they're working. At least that's my opinion.
I know.
Well, it's good to know. Yeah, Cooley, you probably have similar.
Yeah, I would.
Things.
I know exactly the conversation he's talking about. When somebody, when I was doing the LP deal, and the guy that I was doing the LP from, he was like, "Well, you go out there and get your own authority. You're going to fail. You're not going to win. Why don't you just stay with us? You can make all kinds of money." I know that conversation.
But let me say this though. Now, the guy that takes an LP deal, like, I wouldn't say he's failing. Only reason why, you don't know where he came from. Either. You see what I'm saying? If he came from less and he's making more, he's winning. Now, can he make even more? Absolutely. But it's not failing just because he's doing a lease purchase deals.
No, it might be the most money he's ever made in his life.
Absolutely. Because you don't know where he come from. You don't know his story. You don't know his backstory. The guy could be coming out of McDonald's. You come out of McDonald's, you go on lease purchase, you're probably going to make more money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe the word
where he came from.
Maybe the word fail was wrong, but I always look at things as you need to keep stepping up. Absolutely. The people that I've talked to in the truck stops that work for these mega fleet carriers that are on these lease purchase deals, they're here. They can't get any higher than this because the money they're giving these companies is astronomical. I mean, it blows my mind, to be honest with you. And like I said, I'm probably naive. I've only been doing that. I've been an owner-operator for 6 months.
You're good though, man. You're definitely good. You're definitely going in the right direction. But I hear people say that a lot about like lease purchases and all. Oh man, you don't know where that guy came from, bro. That guy got a dirt ass poor, man. Not two nickels to rub together, bro. And now he's making $700 a week. That's a come up. You know what I'm saying? Now once he get there, then he gets to the, like you said, gets to the next level, and then gets to the next level, and then gets to the next level. Because there's people bigger than us looking down on us like, why y'all doing that? You feel me?
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what? You doing this? Why? You should be doing that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, and maybe
but you learn that when you start talking to different people doing different things. You're like, oh shit. Like when we talked about with your guy, the Freight Connect. It's like, oh shit, damn. Oh shit. I didn't know that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
so when somebody don't know something, you know it.
There's stepping stones. And like GNC Family Trucking says, lease is a tool as well. You're exactly right.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You're exactly right. Or maybe you don't want to have additional responsibilities. Maybe you don't want to go for it, and that's fine. Everybody's got, like I always, you get in where you fit in. Wherever you fit in, man. Wherever you fit in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your comfort level, man. And what you want out of life. What do you want, man? What's going to make you happy? Because what make me happy might not make you happy. Vice versa. You know what I'm saying? You got to figure it out for you.
How about like that TV infomercial with the yacht and the bikini girls and the bottles of champagne and the, endless vacation? How about that? Can we get that?
No, I got a 12-foot round, 4-foot tall kiddie pool in the backyard. I'm a broker, but I'm in Maine.
Oh, okay. How do you keep the?
I got a rotary phone.
There you go. You're styling.
I am. I'm old school.
But that's the one beauty of the industry that we're all in, man. You can make money just about in anything you do. Whether you're a local, lease, owner op, fleet owner, broker, like you can make money at it. And you can also fail at every last one of them. It's all about you. It's all about you. How you gonna finesse it?
Facts.
It's all about you, man. Because it's guys that do local work that make no money. It's guys that do local work that make pretty decent money. It's guys that own a rock that make money. It's guys that don't make any money. You're like, you know what I'm saying? So just because you do something, you know what I mean, doesn't mean nothing. You got to make it work.
Another thing
you got to make it work.
Another thing is you got to love what you do.
Oh,
you got to love what you do.
Yeah.
You got to love what you do.
Ooh.
Don't treat it like a job. You know, you got to love what you want to do. You know, so. Yeah.
And really love it, like you said, man. Really love it. And when you get yourself out of debt, it makes you love it even more, man. It's easy to go to work when you don't have debt hanging on your head.
Changes
It is
everything.
hard. It's hard to go to work when you got a mountain of debt waiting for you, bro.
So let me speak. Can I speak on that real quick?
Sure.
Yes.
I sleep better in a truck that's either running or shut off and is too hot to like really sleep in, with a reefer running behind me. And I sleep better in that truck than I did all the years when I was piled under debt. This owner operator thing I'm doing right now has completely gotten me out of debt. You know
That's
what I mean?
awesome.
That I owe debt
That's
on my
awesome.
house. My house is the only thing I really owe money on, and a little bit left on my truck. But yeah, speaking to what you were just saying,
And that's good debt right there.
Right.
The family lives there.
but not to have that stress or wonder how I'm going to pay my next bill. I mean,
Oh,
Adam said earlier, or DIY said earlier, put yourself in a power of position. Granted, things could blow up. I could lose everything. I understand that. I'm not an idiot. But right now, I'm not afraid of anything. You know what I mean? I've saved the money that if my motor blows up or my tranny goes out, I can get it fixed. Like,
it is.
it's not going to break me. And that is an amazing feeling. I've
Hell
talked to
yeah.
DIY quite a lot about that.
Yeah.
You know,
And DIY, you talk to a lot of guys.
That's why I'm not on YouTube so much anymore. I can't get off the phone.
I thought you only talked to me, man.
Even that's getting kind of few and far between.
How about Jerry Broker? I
Yeah,
thought
man.
he talked to me.
I mean, it's like, yeah,
You
man.
tell me he only talked to me.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, me and Eric had a couple of long
Moonlighting.
conversations yesterday. Good ones. Eric,
That's
we
good
should
stuff, man.
we should do a live stream of what we talked about yesterday. We talked about a lot about insurance. Oh well, he already made. We get off the phone. I no more than get the phone. Go click, and he's online making a video about it.
I told you. I got the button, baby.
He's-
Hit
he's-
this button. I'm
and-
going with
and-
it.
Eric don't play no games, man. He's
That's
fast.
all right.
Man.
I was
Hey,
actually shocked.
Hey, Eric, how many videos are you putting out a day? Like, where you at with
As
that?
many as I can,
I
bro.
was like, man, you are grinding, man. I was like, wow, this guy's got a lot of energy, man.
I did. I'm gonna be reaching out to this insurance company. I'm on hold right now, just about ready for these guys.
Now,
I'm not.
what kind of insurance is this?
No, the insurance me and DIY talked about was I went in and found a cooling note
Is this-
too.
Is this truck insurance?
Truck insurance. A
Okay.
customer required insurance for truck insurance, right?
Oh,
so I
okay,
went out
okay.
and found Niagara Water and tracked it. Got in there, logged in, and pulled up their thing and applied because with my authority, and I downloaded the sheets and I sent it to me and DIY talked about it. I sent to DIY and then he's like, "Hey, did you read this?" I'm like, "No, not yet. What's on it?" And he said, "Take a look at this. Am I reading this right?" And the insurance that they require is now I have it, but remember I do very big stuff. But it's not something. I'll bet Cooley. I bet you don't have it. What was it? Was 3 million? Do you
It
have
was
it?
3 million. Well, general was
2
3
million?
million per occurrence, 5 million aggregate, and auto liability was, I think it was 3 million, wasn't it, or was it 2 million?
I'll have
It didn't used to be like that. I think
Auto was
Brooklyn,
3
does that
million, and
sound
work
familiar?
comp was 2 million.
Hey,
There it is.
Brooklyn, does that sound familiar?
Yeah. Okay. So it was 2 million. General liability 2 million. 100 million for damaged rented premises. Oh, geez, freaking out. Hang on. 10,000 for medical expenses. 1 million personal. General etiquette 5 million. Product 5 million. Combined single limit 3 million, and 100,000 in cargo, and 1 million accident, 1 million. And everything down below. And now I
2
have
million workers comp.
2 million and 2 million workman's comp. So and this is some of the stuff that I talk about, but I have this or close. I don't even think I have some of that coverage. I have the
You don't have the workers' comp.
I don't have the workman's comp, but I have a lot of the other coverage. And me and him talked about this, and the question was, well, how are you brokering this rate? Because Cooley, I think you brokered Niagara Water. You've got it as a brokered load, and DIY, you've brokered their water. You've held their freight for their water company, right?
A ton of it.
So I'm going in there and I said, well, what they're probably doing is the brokers are getting contingent insurance, right? But contingent insurance only works if the carrier has that insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's not an addition to, it's exactly. So I can get contingent insurance up to $5 million, but if you only have $1 million, it's only going to do $1 million. It doesn't add on to yours. We don't have $6 million if I have 5 and you have 1. We just have technically you have 1. We both equal out at the minimum. We both have 1. Okay. My insurance will only cover if your insurance doesn't cover. Yeah, good luck with that. We talked about that too. But what the contract says, and I bet you nobody is following, is if you're a broker, even if you have the insurance, which is cheaper for a broker to get it, the carriers in which you hire are supposed to have that. And I will bet, and because the problem happened to me with one of my customers, that brokers don't know that, they don't care, and they're putting it on there. And basically, it is something that they're not going to realize until they have a problem. And then once that, it's going to be another knee-jerk reaction. And there'll be a memo set out, and everybody be like, hey, what you got? There's a smile on the DIY's face. What do we got?
Thank you. Dirty Broke just sent me a Cash App. I was joking about it. Thank you, sir.
All right,
man. That's what we do, man. We pay for good information, man. At least I do.
Yeah, he sent me a Cash App too. Not today, but I want to thank you for that also. That $10 million went a long way. So, but basically, I just think that a lot of the brokers are getting the coverage and not reading the contract. Or the problem is remember, big brokerages, they have corporate people who read those contracts. The agents don't read the contracts. The broker reads the contract. So here the agent is trying to get the freight, and they send that contract over to the broker, like Cooley, you would sign it, or DIY would sign it. But if I was an agent for you guys, you might not tell me, hey, you can only get carriers with this coverage. So now you might have agents that aren't properly communicating with their brokerages or their main people, and they're out there moving this freight, not knowing that they actually had to have carriers with this coverage. Does that make sense too?
Yeah.
Remember, they're so big that some of their agents don't talk to the people that actually sign the paperwork.
Yeah. So I sent that paragraph to my insurance man, and I said, look at this. And I said, quote me this insurance. He calls me. He says, I've never seen anything like this. He says, this is insane. Who's the company? I told him, and he's like, I have 1,500 policies written. I've not seen anything like this. And I said, well, so he read into it a little further. He says, it does say that any carrier you give a load to has to have this same insurance. I said, well, that's impossible, because I haul this freight all the time for brokers, and I don't have this kind of insurance. And he said, well, they're screwing up, because if you had a crash, your insurance would pay out, and their insurance company would say, sorry, you have no insurance because you didn't follow what the policy says. You did not ensure that this carrier has that enough insurance. So if I had a crash and it was a $5 million lawsuit, they would get $1 million off of my auto liability, and then they would go after the broker, and their insurance company would say, have fun paying out your $5 million because you ain't getting a penny from us. You don't even have insurance. So they're exposing themselves. And once they realize I don't think they realize it. I don't think they read any of this.
And I think, like I said, you have a lot of different, like C.H. Robinson, there's a corporate office that fills out that paperwork. Yep. And then they hand that to agents. And then the agents work those accounts. So the agents don't know, might not even read that contract. They never get a copy of that. So now you got some agent or some dispatcher or somebody down the line that's working that, and nobody's gone in there and said, hey, carrier must have this coverage for us to haul this freight.
Yeah.
And they probably aren't telling their people that. And they're letting the agents do this stuff, and next thing you know, they're in trouble.
Once this gets realized, and people start to realize, oh crap, I've screwed up, and they start to require us to have that insurance. Number one, nobody has that insurance. My insurance man says, I can't even sell you that insurance. I'd have to put you to a secondary insurance company, and you can't afford it. And number three, you think there's a shortage of trucks now? Wait till that happens, and then it'll create a further crisis, and that'll be another thing they can take to this freight transportation supply chain task force, and have a whole nother crisis. Say, hell, do something, help.
Right.
And then they're going to use that to further their cause with autonomy and everything. It's a chain reaction, but I tell you what, you're going to see insurance rates through the roof, like way more than double. If this problem ever gets discovered, I kind of feel like I shouldn't even have brought it up, but it's better to know now.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too,
find out later.
Like I was told when one of my customers gave me this outrageous amount of insurance that I had to go get, that it's corporate lawyers. These are not just trucking lawyers. It's a corporate lawyer that comes in and says, "Here, all of you do this." You know what I mean? So it's because remember, you have lawyers that aren't just trucking lawyers; they're corporation lawyers, and they're it's like going to a doctor. I go to a doctor. My doctor says, "Hey, you have to go to a specialist to fix your face." My face is messed up, but it's just one of those things that it's like, hey, this knee-jerk reaction, we're just going to put it across the board and just let the truck drivers figure it out. Let the trucking companies, not truck drivers, but the trucking companies figure out this is what they need. If they want to haul our freight, get it. So
yep.
It's a difficult process to then come back to them and say, hey, the insurance you want, self-insured can write that on their pieces of paper, but non-self-insured is going to have a very difficult time getting that coverage.
I'm glad you brought that up, because there's a massive hypocrisy that's going on in trucking right now, especially with this speed limiter thing. Take the perfect example of the hypocrisy that's going on. So you got these big companies going to the government and saying, we need a fair playing field. We need speed limiters. That was their original argument, was to make it a even playing field, not for safety. So I'm going to go with that. It's even playing field. We need it. We can't have these other trucks and these small companies out here running faster and all these problems, whatever. So, but at the same time, their hypocrisy is, how about if they start paying the same insurance premiums that I am and not be allowed to self-insure? These big companies that are self-insured do not pay anything near for insurance what I pay as a small carrier. How about we take away their ability to self-insure? Then they might actually give a damn about their safety record, because they don't have to answer to an insurance company. They might stop averaging a fatality a day for some of these bigger companies and play on the same level as I do. You claim you want an even playing field, take away self-insured.
Well, we know that the speed limiter is actually, in my opinion, for, again, self-driving truck. People will flip out. But exactly. I do believe that slowing that playing field on that to maintain that self-driving truck distance and keep everything at that same pace. Now, the self-insure, if you think about this, and I want everyone to understand what self-insured is, is that a company like Landstar can say, yes, I will cover, let's say $5 million. I will cover the $5 million in insurance. I have enough value and enough money in the bank or enough assets that I will cover that, right? But technically, they can take that number and say $5 million and wait for a wreck, right? Or now a non-self-insured company has to insure each individual truck.
Yes.
Where a self-insured company just has to say, yes, if my truck happens to get in a wreck, I will give the money and have that in the bank that they can pay that. So they're just kind of insuring their company and hoping not for a wreck, where a smaller company has to insure each and every one, and that each and every one is a very costly thing for trucking companies.
Yes. They may be paying, they don't pay a premium. Well, they do. They're self-insured to a point. They still have to have a massive catastrophic policy that might be, depending on the company, kick in at 20 million or 50 million. Or
correct.
They still have some kind of insurance, but they're self-insured to a point, and their premium to that point is a fraction of what I might pay. Say all in truck, trailer, cargo, blah blah blah. I might pay, $12,000 a year per truck. I'm just throwing that out there.
Right.
They might pay $3.
Correct.
Their cost, not that they pay $3, but their cost, when you portion out the accidents and the claims, might be $3,000 per truck. They're not subject to the insurance company come in and say, if you have any more wrecks, we're raising your rate to $20,000 a year. So if they want a true level playing field, hey, let's do it. Bring it on.
Correct.
But don't sit there with your hypocrisy and tell me that you want this, or lie to me.
Right. And that's so for them, when I had to compete against them, they can just fill out the numbers on a piece of paper. That they didn't have to get a quote. They didn't have to try to track down 17 insurance companies to try to find this massive coverage.
No.
But yeah, put those. It's like, it's almost like printing money for the U.S. government. They just print it, right? So they just put the numbers down. So it was just like, here, you're good. It's easier for them. Where I had to track down like 3 insurance companies or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, if they have a cargo claim, they just write a check for the claim, and they don't have to worry about the insurance company saying we're raising your rate. So they don't get hit twice. I get hit twice if I have a claim. They only take the original hit, and plus they're so big, they bargain stuff down. They're pretty. They know what they're doing. They don't pay a lot.
Right, and this is what like me and him talked about. It's like, okay, well, these shippers that want all this insurance, do they pay more? Well, if they're a big enough shipper. If it's a small shipper that says, hey, we need additional cargo, so they come to me and they say this is worth 150, not 100. I'll say, okay, it's an extra $150, whatever. I don't know numbers. But when it's a big enough company that they say, no, we want all of you to have this for all of our loads, they pretty much just say, look, if you want the privilege of hauling our freight, get the insurance, and then you can still compete just like everyone else. Now, does it naturally knock some people out? It does. Which may or may not give me an opportunity to give them a better price. But if I'm competing with a Landstar who's self-insured, they're going to be able. It doesn't affect them.
Right.
It kind of puts me at a disadvantage. If
they can haul it for the same rate as everything else because they don't have to pay for that insurance.
Correct. So that's it's a difficult. Now, luckily, I have other attributes that I'm better at Landstar. But if it still makes it more difficult when they do things like that.
Yeah, it's not in any way, shape, or form a level playing field, and I'm not saying it should be. They should be just left alone. But they should stop squawking about it. I'm not squawking about it. It's just the hypocrisy is what gets me.
Right.
And that extra insurance, do they pay more because I have to carry extra insurance? It depends. In a market like this, yeah, they're probably going to have to. But if it's last year, they'll say, here's the freight, here's what insurance you need. Take it or leave it. Here's what it pays. It's your problem. We'll find somebody else.
For the insurance per se right now, they're paying for your truck. So in that logic, it's like, no, they're not actually paying for it because when there's no freight, take it or leave it.
Right. This is why I've been saying a lot lately. It doesn't matter what I think or you think or any of us think about autonomous trucks because the same with insurance and all this other stuff. The big companies, they have the money. It matters what they're doing.
Right.
Not what I think. Do I want autonomous trucks? Hell no. I don't want them.
But
that doesn't mean they're not doing it.
Make sure you invest in the technology is all.
Exactly.
Right. That's right. Like I said,
hey man.
I got a lot of guys jumping out on my channel because I'm just showing you the business models based on the rail. It's the same business
what's
model.
Happening. You're showing
Correct.
Reality. You're not saying it should happen or you want it to. You're just showing what's happening.
Correct. And even China is way ahead of this. Oh, T. Hill jumped in here. Here when we didn't see him.
Yeah, he just brought T. Hill in.
Yeah, so it's just that China's way ahead of us on this, and I have a lot of people saying, "Well, why did this company sell? Why did this company sell?" So it's never going to work. And it's like, well, wait a minute, guys. Just because a company wants out, I might sell because I can't compete with that China company, and I'd rather jump into something else. It's not because the technology isn't going to get there. It's because I see the competition and I can't compete. I need to step out before I go broke.
And it's coming, man. That technology is coming, and it's coming fast.
I believe it is. And I believe these high rates are going to be another reason for them to pump in this infrastructure bill and pump in million. Oh, hang on a second.
There's a question for you, Eric.
So how much contingent insurance should brokers get to cover the business? Minimum, maximum. All right. All right. Let's answer this question. I have 2 points of view. One point is get whatever you feel comfortable with, but understand something first. And I know that's kind of a trick question, but I want you to understand something. Contingent insurance is only based on if the carrier has insurance. So if you don't do your job and the carrier doesn't have any insurance and they get wrecked, your insurance will not cover it. Okay? So that's your first thing is you have to make sure that they have insurance. So let's say you got $2 million and the carrier has $2 million. If something happens and that truck gets into a wreck and the insurance company deems they are not responsible for paying it, your insurance is going to use your contingent is going to use the exact same law to get out of paying it also. There's no way their insurance is going to say no because of this, and your insurance is say, yeah, we'll pay that. They won't. They're going to just mimic that exact same rule and just put it on your claim too, because they're going to see what their insurance company said, and they're just going to copy and paste, and it'll be on yours. Just trust me. Now, if the other insurance says, yes, we have to pay for this, you don't need contingency because their insurance is going to actually pay for it, and your insurance isn't going to. Does that make sense? Everybody with me? So,
I'm getting an echo there.
Somebody got their speaker on?
I'm getting an echo.
Might have been T Hill.
Yeah, I think that was T Hill. Yeah, we're good now.
So,
yep.
Contingent insurance is never. It's rare that it's going to pay. I mean, there's only certain, like if you give a load to a carrier, and in the middle of the load they cancel their insurance, well then contingent insurance is going to cover that. There's not a whole lot of circumstances where they're going to pay out.
But even that contingent, and remember, once you get that, once you contact the insurance company and you get your that insurance from them, it actually extends for the process of that load. If you did your job and they had insurance when they took your load, the insurance will cover it until that load is complete. Okay, so that I've actually called on this once, and they said no, that we have to cover you until the completion of the load. Because, here's the date of this, here's the date of your load, where's your rate con? Okay, we're good to go. But so the problem is that now some customers are going to say, we want you to have it, and we want you to have this, because they don't understand the process, and they just want an extra step, and they're just going to say, do this. But if it makes you feel better in having it, the only thing it does do is because understand that a lot of customers are going to say, for us to pay you, we are going to need some proof of either a claim being paid or insurance denying it. Okay? So if a customer requires you to have it, and then they're going to look for a denial from the carrier's insurance, and they're going to want that denial piece of paper from your contingent insurance. Then you can turn that in and say, see, my insurance didn't cover it, his insurance didn't cover it. Sorry, there's nothing we can do. Does that make sense? So having it is a twofold. Some customers are going to want you to have it, so just to get the form, just to get the denial piece of paper and turn that in, because they need something that says, no, it won't be paid, and here's the reason why. And the insurance company is that piece of paper, if that makes sense. That being said, what insurance broker get covered to the business? Can you pull that one up? Okay. That being said, then, what insurance should brokers get to cover the business? Okay. I don't know if you're familiar. Maybe errors and omissions is one that you can get. And errors and omissions is basically, I screwed up. It was supposed to, it was supposed to be tarp. I didn't tell you it was to be tarped. It's something that basically it was your fault that you did not give the information to the driver or something, and it's going to come back to you, and it's your fault. And errors and omission insurance should cover that. That's one insurance. DIY, do you have that?
I don't, but I should, and I will. I will eventually.
Can I ask a dumb question here?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And this is proving like how little experience I do have in this. What you were just saying, is that why when I get a load and on the BOLs the temperature is so much different than what the broker told me the temperature should be, that I contact the broker and say, hey, this is what it says on the BOLs, what do you want me to run it at? Is the broker like covering himself there?
Okay, so here's just so you know, brokers, okay, we're going to get into a little class here. All right. So understand that you have a rate confirmation sheet, which is a contract between you and the broker. But that bill of lading is a contract. It's a legitimate contract between you and the shipper. That trumps the broker, because it is the shipper's freight, then it's your freight, then it's the receiver's freight. That bill of lading trumps the rate confirmation from a broker every day of the week, because you just signed for this. Remember, when you sign that bill of lading, that's why you sign and print. And when they sign it, you ask them to sign and print. If they're not printing and I come back to you in 6 months and says, hey, what's this guy's name? And you don't know, we got a problem, because you're not going to remember. So what happens is whatever that bill of lading says is the shippinger's requirements, and they're handing you possession of the freight. You better do what that person said needs to be done. Now, you go to the broker and you tell him, and you say, look, the shipper's information differs from your information. As of right now, I need to go with this shipper's information. Okay, whatever's on that bill of lading. If it's different, you better go back in there and get a new bill of lading, or have them cross it off and put the proper temperature on, initial it, and sign it. Because remember, your bill of lading will trump. So down the road, if your broker told you to put it at 35 and the shipper told you to put it at 0, and you get to the receiver and they want it at 0, it's your fault because you signed from the shipper's possession the freight and you took it. So a lot of times they just screw up. Brokers just screw up. They're doing so many loads, they screw up. They don't pay attention to temperatures because they know that shipper, they'll leave it on you to make sure you know. So anytime it differs, I would say take a picture of that bill of lading and text it to the driver and say, according to this, I have to do this. So if this isn't right, I need to know now, and this bill of lading needs to be changed.
Or make the broker change the rate confirmation. Make them put it in writing to acknowledge. Make them acknowledge it in writing.
Correct. So if it's the other way around, then the broker has to change his paperwork and send his paperwork to you corrected. I'm sorry. Yeah, it goes either way. Whoever's right has to change their paper. Whoever's wrong has to change their paperwork. So, and then you're getting proper, and then you're getting matched. And do it every time, because especially with reefer and refrigeration, because you guys are so not prone, but so open for freaking problems with refusals on temperature. You want that paperwork to match. And when it doesn't match, like I said, remember, a broker never takes possession of the freight. So it's the shipper's freight, driver's freight, receiver's freight. You're actually signing for possession of the freight when you sign that shipper's and can give them that piece of paper. Now you have a contract with taking responsibility for that freight. The broker never took responsibility for it. You did. And the contract that trumps everything else is that bill of lading.
Yeah. Now, Eric, remember, you charge for this information. This is part of your class, so don't give it all. I'm going to stop you because you're about to give it all away. I know you're going to keep going, and I know you're going to give it away.
This is my class. This is why I've got a better broker class than anybody else out there, and you can check it out on my website and check it out on my YouTube page. But this is the stuff that nobody else knows, and they get themselves in trouble. And I got a lot more other stuff. Trust me.
Yes. Eric's broker class is number one, the most reasonable one out there, best price. And number two. And remember, as far as I know, it's the only one worth having.
Right. Mine is actually the operations and the dispatching of the broker class. I'm not going to teach you the cold calls. I'm not going to teach you something that says, a script to read. I'm actually teaching people the actual understanding and knowledge to make sure that, hey, great, I made $200. Oh, shit, here's my $20,000 lawsuit. Wait a minute. That's what I'm trying to protect.
But we are working on that other part with Paul. We're about to come out. Between the three of us, we're working together for something big here. It's going to be the best thing of its kind.
How long do we have to wait?
A few more days. We're going to trial run it today. We're testing it today at probably 3:00. But T. Hill, he can jump in here if he wants to say anything. We're waiting for him. But Eric, going back because you already kind of gave it. We talked about it. That contract you're talking about with the insurance. Something you talk about in your class is that you can be held liable. You can owe money. Like they can sue the hell out of you. Yes. That contract also had provisions in there that you can owe them money for hauling their freight.
Yes.
You could $100, $50 a load. They could sue you if you're late on a load. They can sue you.
If they lose a customer, they can sue you for future income.
Yes, for millions of dollars. So people that get into this broker thing, they take a weekend class and I'm going to be a freight broker. You better know. You better be able to cover your loads. Take what you can handle. You better know what you can handle.
Right.
You better know the level of responsibility you're getting into. And Cooley, you know kind of about this. I'm sure you don't step out on a limb too often.
No, I do what I can.
Yeah, exactly.
I do what I can because
you don't say, "Oh, you got 50 loads going to Dallas. I'll take them all." You better cover them.
Do what you can.
Yeah, it's not a cutthroat. People don't, obviously there's shady brokers, there's scumbag brokers, but everybody, all you got is a computer and a telephone. It's not true. You don't know anything about the business. You don't have any idea what you're talking about.
And I might look that way, but I've got a sound effects too. But still, and I haven't used these on any of my customer calls yet. But it's
Yeah.
I think that the problem is that people understand is that what don't physically have, I mentally have, and I have to have a hell of a lot of mental game here to make sure that. And it's what I teach too. I'm a sheepdog. My job is to protect everyone. I protect my carrier. I protect my customer. I protect my receiver. I protect myself. And if I protect everyone, everything goes well. If I just look out for myself, it never goes. If you just look out for yourself, it's never going to go well. But if you look to protect everyone, then you'll protect yourself. And that's kind of what I teach and what I explain is that you need to be. There's no setting anybody up for failure. Now I'm a different type of broker, trust me, because I don't like brokers. But it's just it's a different mindset, and it's the way I feel it should be, to be honest. And I guess I'm old school, and I'm in this country, so.
That's a bag of worms. Oh, geez, that's touchy subject with me.
You there, T Hill?
Yeah, come on, T Hill.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just listening in, man. You guys got all the professionalism already covered in this topic today.
Hey, can we backtrack a little bit?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
We're getting some echo there. And I want T Hill to explain a little bit that. Okay. I love it. Yeah, and because T Hill he's doing a 10K challenge with me, man, and he's T Hill's a good explainer, man. That's why I like T Hill. Man, he's good at explaining shit, man. He really is, man. He's got a knack for explaining stuff, making it simple so a lot of people can digest it, man. You want to talk about that? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I just kind of wanted to kind of share my my take on how I'm getting toward the challenge of the 10K, and the way I run my company over here is, I pay myself, 66 cents a mile. So, on top of that, the business has its money and then I get mine. And so I'm cutting my money for the 10K challenge, not from the company, from me personally. So that way I can turn around and actually show somebody how I was able to save $10,000. Because of course, your trucking company should be producing, 80 to, over 100 grand a year. But if you're not doing that, then, something you might have to just kind of look at your operation, see what you got going on. But guys could be making that kind of money, and then they'll just say like, oh yeah, I'll just take $10,000 and just put it over here for the $10,000 challenge. And for me, I'm trying to reach out to young, inspiring people that are out there that want to get into owner operator, or want to have their own carrier, or want to get into their own brokerage business. Because in this business, you have to save money. And if you're not saving money, then when something happens where there's a big ticket item, like right now, I'm getting my turbo fixed on my truck. So that's, to me, is considered a big ticket item. I had my bull gear go out 2 years ago. That was $13,000. So these things happen in truck. Just maintaining the truck is a very expensive thing. And this is the most important thing, that you have to have the money or the means. Even if you have a credit card to get your truck fixed, you still got to pay that credit card back. And everybody knows if you got a bill for $13K and you put it on a credit card, by the time you pay it back, if you don't pay it right away in 30 days, then you're going to be paying interest. So that $13,000 bill is, 14, 15,000. So I just wanted to try to show people, if you're not able to save 10,000, save 2, because what it'll do is it'll help you when you become an owner operator to just start saving money, because you need to save money when you're an owner operator. Because the last thing any broker wants to hear is, hey, your truck is broke down, and it's not up to them to get your truck fixed. But you'll be calling the broker like, yeah, my truck broke down and I don't have no money. So they don't care about.
And if you have your own authority and you're in that situation, you could have some severe penpenalties for not getting that load delivered. You lose a customer.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that'll be a definitely snowball effect, because if you have product go bad, then that's a claim. And it all started from, what we're talking about, a $3,500 turbo going out. or a $500 part on your truck that you don't have the money for. So that was my whole when Dirty put the challenge up. I wanted to just show people how you can actually obtain the $10,000 without this. Well, I got to make $70,000 or $80,000 to do it. You can just keep take things out of your life. Like he was saying, a cup of coffee or the soda, the hamburger, at the truck stop, that Subway sandwich. Use your points. We all get points out here. Every time I go in there, I think the Loves, I put Dirty's company on.
Hey, man, it ain't my company, man. I'm just a company man.
The lady said, "You want to pay for this with your points?" Absolutely. I want to pay for this with my points. But I'm just want to show everybody that you can definitely do it. You don't have to save 10,000. You can save 5. If you don't want to save 5, you can save 2. And what it'll do is it'll just program in your mind that you need to be out here saving money, especially right now. I heard a YouTuber say we should be running as hard as we can right now because
running it up, man.
Definitely up. So I definitely appreciate somebody saying that, and I understand it. But there's people out here that probably don't understand that if you're not running as hard as you can right now,
and you can't save money in this market, you better reevaluate. Okay,
so
you better reevaluate.
Right. DIY.
Absolutely.
This is why I appreciate your channel. Like in all honesty, the people that are in this chat or whatever, like this is why your channel's so important to the people coming in. All the people that are on this live right now are giving the right advice. You can go to other trucking channels and see guys driving great cars, doing awesome things with their money, and that's their prerogative. I get it, but the money is going to run dry. And if, like the T Hill just said, if you can't save your money in this market, how are you ever going to do it? And your channel has people that come on that, I mean, to be honest, have helped a guy like me, a 40-year-old guy like me, live out my dream, but also do it in a way that I think I can be successful for a long period of time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You're gonna make this grown man cry if you don't knock it off.
I'm being honest, man. Dirty Pro.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I see him in other chats. I mean, I see all these guys in other chats.
No, there's people on YouTube that genuinely want to help, and all these people right here genuinely want to help.
Of course, you're subscribed to all of us, right? You're subscribed to all of us. You better go ahead and start clicking.
Better. There's no reason to turn to drama. At the drop of a hat. Hey, there's information on here. Any of these guys' channelers, they got something somewhere that can change your life. Change your whole situation.
For good or bad, right? DIY.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but no, that's what we're trying to do, and I appreciate everybody doing this today. I should probably tie this up here quick and get some work done.
I got to run, man. So it was nice meeting all of you.
Hey, nice
Thank
meeting
you, DIY.
Yeah, definitely.
Keep at it, man. Good luck on your journey, bro.
Everybody in here, check out all these channels. You got Dirty Broke 215. We had that link in here before. The Great Freight Sage Logic. We'll see him from time to time. Call Me Cooley. Definitely check it. Drop in and check out that channel. He's got a lot of things happening over there, and a good guy. I'm guilty. I need to check out more of his videos, and I'm going to do that. Yeah. T Hill. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll drop the link in a second.
I'm trying to. I'm going to snag your link real quick.
I dropped your link earlier, but it doesn't have your name in it.
No.
You should go on your channel and get your custom link set up. You too, Sage.
Customize your link. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I get that done.
Yeah.
I'm dropping a link here to somebody. I think it's. Yeah, that's to Call Me Cooley.
All right, there you go.
Definitely. T Hill,
all
big
right,
supporter
man.
of the channel. I appreciate it.
Yeah, T Hill's awesome. I like T Hill.
Man,
appreciate you having us on.
T Hill's one of the night riders. We run and talk all night long, man.
Yeah, T Hill
information, man.
T Hill usually catches my little jokes that I throw in there, and he seems to be the only one. So I'm like, okay. But he points them out when I say him. So
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be watching.
Well, thanks everybody. I really appreciate it. I really mean that. And let's do it again sometime. Hopefully we help.
Yeah.
I,
For sure,
I
man.
believe we helped a good number of people here today, especially with that health insurance stuff. That was
Hell
we're gonna have to
man.
do more on that. That's probably one
that
thing where
was,
we all need.
and that was unexpected, man.
Yeah.
I
I've been
don't
trying
think
to
that
set
was
something
planned,
up with that guy.
unless you were sandbagging. I don't think that was planned with the health insurance.
No, it wasn't. We talked
great,
before
great.
about doing a video,
Great.
but we just never got into it.
Hey, hell yeah.
So, all right,
Good
everybody,
stuff.
take care, and we'll see you
All
next
right,
time.
thanks, bud. All right,
Thank you.
all right, peace,
Thanks.
folks.